3, 2, 1. Show me how to make thunder. There's a quote from Avatar 3. Fire and ash.
Nice. You get me hyped.
It's so, yeah.
I'm actually and I say, why so blue?
And we've got a special guest.
Yeah. Jake, you there?
Yeah, I'm a special guest. I'm a character actor for Marty Supreme.
So Jake is relentlessly sick.
Yeah, he's changed. He's so ill, he's changed form.
It sounds like a different person. I wasn't sure if we were being trolled.
Yeah, I thought the same thing.
I'm going through it, guys. I mean, the whole house. I mean, it turns out once your kid starts like going out to hanging out with all the other toddlers and doing classes and stuff, then it's game over. And I was looking up with Nadia. I was like, how many times on average do toddlers get sick throughout the year?
Forever.
And I shit you not, it says 6 to 12 times a year.
Yeah.
So I might just sound like this forever on the podcast. So.
Forever. It's your new voice.
Just get used to it.
I mean, I appreciate the work ethic, but damn, that sounds rough, man.
You could make him a bubble boy.
Nice.
Yeah, that would turn out well. I think you guys are going to be steering the ship today.
That's fine.
And I'm just going to be coasting along in your
that's more than fair.
beautiful wake.
Beautiful woke.
But man, your wake is so beautiful. It's woke.
Aren't we approaching Jake's like year anniversary?
I don't know.
Of being on the show, right?
Aw, when's that?
I swear that was like a January. It was the Mr. Beast. It's all like looping back round because there's a new Beast Games season out, and that's what we talked about and stuff. You know, I feel like it's about a year.
The annual Beast Games, tradition.
Yeah, it's slowly becoming the Hunger Games, like for real. Yeah,
exactly.
Isn't season 2 coming out?
I don't know.
I think it's out, right? I saw it on my like homepage somewhere.
All right.
I don't know. I haven't watched
Nostalgia Critic watched it.
Oh, well, that's
Isn't
nice.
he like on the channel? No, he's on Mr. Beast's channel, right?
No, yeah, that's why. Well, so I was curious about that too. I watched it, and basically, the Nostalgia Critic, he made a vlog about how he got invited to the Beast Zone, and him and like a bunch of other media critics, including Dan Olsen. So it was funny to have them in the same
I saw that.
room together.
Yeah.
And basically, they just got invited there so that they could be a test audience to give feedback on season 2 of Beast Games. Even though Nostalgia Critic didn't even see season 1 and didn't even... Like, him and Mr. Beast barely know who each other are.
What?
But, yeah, they're looking for fucking feedback.
That's amazing. I didn't realize that was the context.
Yeah.
That's even funnier.
That makes it very, very funny. Because it's like, you already filmed it, too. Like, what are they... If they say, like, oh, yeah, the whole thing was shit, what are you going to change? Just the editing. That's it. Or are you just hoping that like season 3 is going to be watchable? If you get the right feedback. Did Amazon say you have to do this?
Yeah, what?
Was that their one stipulation?
Is Doug Walker like their target demographic too?
No.
I guess they want everyone.
No, not in the slightest.
Yes. Like what?
Doug Walker is for like really quirky, cringe millennials. You know?
I think if Dan Olsen and Doug Walker are giving input into the Beast Games, I feel like IHE and YMS should be right at that table too.
Yeah, honestly, I was like, why aren't I invited? And then I remembered I have a bunch of public shitting on Mr. Beast content.
Yeah.
So that's probably why.
So does everyone. I mean, come on, that's part of the fun of it.
Apparently not Dan Olsen.
No, he just has his Doug Walker stuff.
Yeah. No, I hope he releases a video and he talks about how dystopian the experience was.
I'm sure that's coming. I mean, I expect it to come. I'll be sat, as the kids say. I do want to say thank you guys for 1 year of tolerating me. This has been a lovely. Even though I sound like I'm dying, my heart is full of joy and gratitude and love for my fellow Sards. So thanks for having me, guys.
No, it's been an honor.
Thank you. Thanks for being here.
Yeah.
Through sick and thin.
Through Beast and through games.
Through all the beasts and all the games.
Yeah.
Through all the avatars.
I feel like we haven't talked in so long. I mean, we recorded so much right before the break.
Yeah, it's been ages.
It's been over a month.
So much has happened So much has happened. I mean, Alex basically predicted the Venezuela bullshit.
But we can predict more too, because everything's fucking like the timeline is moving so fast.
I know.
Like shit's just so crazy in the news cycle. All you have to say is like, oh, there's going to be a major event in a week.
Yeah.
Like then you're going to be right.
Oh my god.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. I guess I'll just say shame on you. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry everyone.
Yeah.
Put my hands up.
The Golden Globes happened.
Golden Globes happened. They sure happened. Yeah.
And nothing was of note.
Did either of you watch it?
I started looking at the list.
Yeah.
I was just like, I didn't even care.
Every single year, people ask if I'm going to stream my reactions to the Golden Globes, and I say, hell no. And I do a stream of other things during the Golden Globes.
Yeah.
And I don't watch them. What's the point?
Can I flex on you guys real quick?
Please.
I've been to the Golden Globes.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah. I was an intern in 2019.
Oh, what?
Yeah. I was an intern when I was going to community college in LA, and they had an internship program, and I went there, and they basically didn't have me do shit. I had to rent a tux for a day, and then I just stood around, and I was just like walking around taking pictures of celebrities. It was kind of funny. Yeah.
Just in case they needed you for something.
Yeah, I have a picture with Bo Burnham. He's the only one I took a picture with.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
I've met him. He's tall.
He's so tall.
I know. And we're tall, so that's
I know.
crazy to even think about.
I know. It pissed me off. I'm like, no, I'm the tall one. Bo Burnham.
Yeah, nothing was of note.
Nothing.
Literally nothing. Mark Ruffalo got asked about his pin, and he said political things that are relevant and important, but then the same guy asked Bill Maher, and Bill Maher said, politics. I don't do that.
That's funny.
I liked when Wanda Sykes accepted the stand-up comedy award on behalf of Ricky Gervais, and she said that she was accepting it on behalf of God and the trans community, right?
Nice.
That was funny.
Nice.
Did Ricky Gervais, did he do something? Did he say some weird trans stuff?
Yeah, God.
Oh, I don't remember.
Lots of weird stuff. Yeah, he's horrible.
I haven't paid attention to anything he's made in so long. Yeah.
I just keep thinking about that photo shoot he did where he's like nailed to a cross. Or no, he has the microphone and he's like the atheist.
I know the exact one, yeah.
Yeah. It's like...
Yeah, it sends a shiver down your spine.
I know. It's horrible.
Speaking of which,
yeah,
Avatar 3.
All right.
Well, it sent a shiver down your spine. You're so hyped and there for James Cameroon.
Yeah, so you guys were hyped for this, right?
Of course.
Was it worth it?
That's a complicated question. It's going to require a complicated answer.
All right.
I think. I feel like the Avatar sequel that I'm after is buried somewhere within half of Way of Water and half of Fire and Ash, I think is where I'm at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they're both kind of like 10 out of 10, 6 out of 10s, if you know what I'm saying.
No, I don't.
I like that. That makes perfect sense, actually.
No.
I find a lot about them to be quite charming and likable, but also just so messy that I can't go above a certain level. Yeah. I feel like they're kind of Way of Water in this movie. You can't disconnect it with the whole way they were shot in tandem. They're kind of like one giant script, like split in half, supposedly, with, all of this footage from 2017 to 2020, I think they shot them both. So they're kind of joined at the hip, and it's kind of the best and worst thing about them, how like derivative of each other they are, but how, I don't know, they're these characters that I quite like, but man, it goes all over the place. But I'm if I had to guess, I'm probably the most positive on this one out of us three. But what are your high level takes?
Wow, this was the one you liked the most.
If we're discounting out of Way of Water and the new Avatars, I still think the original one is the cleanest, the best, the best script, the best main character, the most focused for sure, and the shortest, which does help because they are ridiculously bloated and don't have intermissions, which I can't forgive on either of them. Cause it's like, come on, man. That's so long.
James wants the theater industry to perish.
He's like carrying it on his back.
That's what he wants. He's taking up the space of 2 films and only one point where you can buy concession. So if you had an intermission, people would be encouraged to keep the theater business alive in the middle of the movie. But James doesn't want that. He's anti-theater.
Avatar's keeping theaters afloat right now, honestly, throughout this holiday season. It's like Avatar and then everything else. Yeah, I mean...
No.
That's why I got a shill for James Cameron, because he's keeping movies alive.
They could be double alive if he just put an intermission.
Yeah, I feel like that would be cool. I mean, I like intermissions. I had a tough ride with this movie because
Same.
I really liked The Way of Water. I genuinely thought it was like an improvement upon Avatar 1. It brought a lot of interesting, new, weird stuff. That's just like, okay, the bad guy from that movie is like now in an Avatar Pandora body, and he's like crushing his own skull. And like,
yeah, great choice. I love that.
I don't even remember that.
He has a son who's like it's the battle of the stepdads, you know? It's like, it's so weird.
Spider.
And it's so personal in a way that you don't see from massive blockbuster filmmaking. Like, it clearly is like, this is James Cameron's thing, and he's getting out his neuroses through these movies. And I appreciate that, you know, and like no one else is doing it.
It's a really wet film.
It's a wet movie.
Yeah, it is.
And I was looking forward to this movie because throughout the whole press junket, they were talking about how this might be the last Avatar movie. I don't know. My theory is that they're just saying that because,
of course,
because they have shot stuff for the other movies, and they have planned to do that,
and they know it's going to make $1 billion no matter what it is.
Yeah,
but I think the play is like, hey, maybe it's the last one. And so I go into this movie hoping like, okay, we're going to see some evolution of things are going to change in a big way. And then it was so similar to Avatar 2 in so many ways, plot beat wise, story wise. I was just like, fuck, like it was enjoyable, you know, on a scene by scene basis. There's some great action, but I really expected like the characters to advance in more significant ways. And it really, and I know there are some ways they advance, and people who are, you know, shooting for this movie are like, no, you don't get it. It's like much more deep than you. I mean, I'm sure there are layers to it, but like on a fundamental like character arc level, things basically end exactly where they ended in Avatar 2.
Yes.
And I left the theater like kind of rolling my eyes because I'm like, okay, none of us are going to be watching another Avatar movie for 10 more years or something if James Cameron's still alive. And this is all you had to say for this one? And it makes sense that this movie, Avatar 2 and 3, were originally one script, and they split it into 2. Yeah. You know, and I do think, like Alex is saying, there's so much great stuff in both of these movies that if it had been put into one film, I do think that it would be an improvement.
Yeah, they really can't fucking help themselves in terms of just squeezing every dollar they can out of this. Like, well, we shot all this footage. Well, we had the script, you know, we might as well. It literally felt like a bunch of deleted scenes from the second movie. Felt like supplemental material.
A little bit.
Before I even knew that they were filmed at the same time, because I didn't know that going into it. But watching the film, I was viewing it as if I could hear the director commentary like on the DVD featurette talking about why the scene was cut from the second movie. I could just hear like James Cameron's voice in my head talking about like, oh yeah, it was a little too bloated, so we got rid of this one, and we didn't communicate things the way we wanted to. That was like the entire fucking movie for me. It was just that in my head.
Even the climax of the movie is like the same exact type of action from the second movie, but more of it.
And some fire, and the blue people have guns now.
Yeah.
I wish there was a bit more fire and ash though.
But there was a bit of fire in the second movie, right?
Yeah, a little bit. I don't know. If the way I felt about The Way of Water, which also was like insanely bloated and uneven to me, was I thought the last hour was like incredible. On an action spectacle level, when it becomes Titanic, it's like, this is great. the way like the characters change like in that scene, and the Zoe Saldana characters like become scary, and after the loss of like a child and whatnot, it felt like an escalation there, and like a cool. This is like a more interesting place to start, kind of. You just had to get there to that last hour. With this, to me, it was kind of the inverse problem, where like what you're saying, Jake, about your expectations about wanting to see some big changes in a big way. And I felt like I was kind of getting that for the first like hour and a half of this, where I was like, okay, these flying merchants come in and the whole like design of that, and it's like, cool, this is like a nice excuse to get the story moving. It's taking them to a different like biome, basically. Now we can go to the fire and ash thing and see what that's all about. And then introducing like the Ash Clan and how dark that stuff was with these like suicide bombers and the weird hair stuff where they're like torturing each other, and it's like really dark and interesting.
If I cut off your hair, will you die? It would be extremely painful.
Yeah, that stuff was like pretty disturbing. Then the whole like, I don't know how much I can spoil, because you can't really spoil anything in this movie.
Let's say spoilers just now, right now. We're doing spoiler talk. Who cares? Who the fuck cares?
Everyone's already seen it. Everyone listening to this has seen it. Everyone's seen it. So like after the Ash Clan like attacks those flying merchants, and then it becomes the whole. I love the kind of Jake and Quaritch having to work together, like the trepidatious stuff. Like I like these like action kind of cliches or whatever. I thought that was really working. It was showing a different side to these characters that I was into, and then going into the world building stuff with what they were doing with Spider, who I thought was a big negative in the second movie. As far as he didn't really have like an angle to me. He just kind of stood out as like a weak link as a character. He didn't feel like he was adding much. And more than anything, that actor almost has like an unfair gig with like being the main human character that's interacting with the big 9-foot aliens. Yeah. So you really needed someone who could sell that, you know?
True.
A young Leo or something could pull that off, but this guy, I don't know if he had what it takes, but at least on the page, on a storytelling level, I kind of liked how they changed the MacGuffin from the whale goo, previously from the unobtainium or whatever, into now the main MacGuffin being a human character, a character that has been established. That works and is more interesting to me, and kind of raised the stakes in a way that was like, this is cool. Because you mentioned the dueling dad kind of dynamic, and having the MacGuffin be the child stuck in the middle of that. It's like, that's a cool nugget there. I want to see where that goes. But then it just devolves into being Way of Water again for the second half, like almost as soon as the whale like mating event stuff, and it just becomes Way of Water again. I was really disappointed by that, because I felt like, the new villain with the Ash Clan stuff was really adding another element that I found interesting. It's like, oh, where's this going to go? Is this going to like pull Quaritch in a different direction and then explore something else? But it doesn't. Maybe that's what the next two movies are going to be about, but it just feels like the movie just kind of presses pause at a certain point. It's like you don't really get a conclusion, or as you said, like arcs to any of these major characters. It does feel more static from that point, which was a shame for me, because it makes a lot of Way of Water kind of redundant to me. It's like, we got like an even bigger action scene now, and it's the same thing again, but now there's a million whales and a million squids flying around. It's like, okay, I guess this really is just like we're just going to make the same movie again and again.
A cynical, soulless cash grab made for money and no other reason.
It didn't feel like that to me.
No, it feels like there's too much weird stuff still in here, and personal stuff, like Jake almost killing Spider. Like
that was hilarious.
Like that's crazy. Like you wouldn't.
The one like putting the gun to his head. That was crazy.
Because it's like you obviously weren't gonna do it, because that's the main character killing a child. But then they added the fucking stabbing sound effect, as if he stabbed something, and then I was like, okay, did someone get shot like with an arrow or something? Like what's the reveal? And the reveal is, oh, he just stabbed the air and it made a sound for some reason, because we're manipulative and we like tricking people for no reason. That was so stupid. That pissed me off.
Yeah, corny.
That was a bit of a Stranger Things sound effect issue.
Awful. Genuinely awful.
True, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but you know what I mean? Like, there are those moments that still feel personal. Like, clearly James Cameron is, like, obsessed with nature and with, like, his own unique philosophy of whatever. Like, this is his thing. It's great. But the moment where it fully lost me, because the whole movie is sequences of people getting captured and then escaping, getting captured, then escaping.
Yeah, no, forever. The standoff perpetually.
Over and over, it's Jake fighting Sully, or Jake fighting Quaritch, and then teaming up, and then fighting, then teaming up, then fighting, until finally, at the very end, they're like floating on these big rocks in like a random space. Like, that's one element of the action that I didn't love, that it just felt kind of generic, like, oh, we're just floating on a bunch of rocks in the sky, and there's a giant beam in the sky. It felt very Marvel. Sorry, James Cameron, but it did.
Oh no.
and then the moment like Quaritch literally has that just happened. Like, literally after they're dangling from the rocks, and like he has his son, and they all get up on the rocks, and you're like, okay, one of these fuckers has to die. You know, something has to happen. And Quaritch just goes, well, this is awkward. Like, what the fuck? What the fuck? Are you kidding me? We're doing a Marvel quip?
I kind of like that line.
Like, what the fuck?
And then he just like, then he just presses pause and it's like, bye, see you next time.
He just jumps in, and it's like, okay, well, we don't see him die, so obviously
no one's ever really gone in these films. Death doesn't even matter.
No, it just annoyed me. I was like, we needed some change to this dynamic between the Quaritch and Jake and Spider thing. Like, we needed a definitive.
He should have stabbed Spider in the head and then had him go, I'm still alive for some reason.
I think Spider should have joined with Quaritch and been like, yeah, I'm a human, like, whatever. I mean, I did like Quaritch becoming more of a Na'vi, like his whole thing when he shows up to the meeting with the general, and he's like all in the full paint of the Ash clan, and he's like, what's up, what's going on, guys? And she's like, what the fuck is going on with you, dude? Like,
what Na'vi pussy does to a motherfucker.
Yeah, he's like that. He's the guy that like falls for the goth girl, and
I know,
becomes that goth. I thought that dynamic was awesome.
I like that a lot.
Kind of funny and weird.
Yeah, it's very I'm so sick of this fucking franchise. I get like nothing out of it. Like, oh yeah, the dude has the villain that's been the same villain for all 3 movies for some reason. Now he has a baddie GF, and that's different.
Come on, that's
awesome.
Cool.
That is cool. Come on.
What about it?
Kind of like a meathead like enjoyment here.
She's like the only one in their entire fucking clan that doesn't look like an orc, because James Cameron is like, no, you need to have a baddie GF, because that's his fetish other than water. Like,
James Cameron's fetish is water and mean Na'vi and doing drugs. You know, he clearly has. You know, that drug sequence was cool. I like that.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah,
it was fun.
It was so lame.
Oh, come on! There's simple pleasures. There's pleasure to be found in these films. I really enjoy.
Yeah, simple pleasure is the way to put it.
It is all very simple.
They're like experiential movies. They're just like trying to put you in an environment, and the environment's like the best part. And yeah, I get where Adam's coming from. Like, for me, what bugs me is more that this is James Cameron's 9th movie, so now 1/3 of his filmography is Avatar. And it's going to be more weighted towards Avatar, because 9 movies isn't much for like how long he's been working. So like, yeah, there is something like, man, what have we lost by this taking so long, and how unambitious the stories have been. Because it would have been nice if like he'd been a bit more ambitious with the stories post Avatar 1, and kind of just used this world as a backdrop or a setting, something like this. But it seems like they're stuck in this catch-22 of the budgets need to be so high in order for them to get made, that I don't know if the fear of getting like too complex is like putting them off from doing anything with the stories. So they just kind of like keep them at a certain level of simple, and keep them at a certain level of like, this has to be the same, and can't get too nuts with it. I don't know.
It would be self-imposed if that were the case, because James Cameron is not getting any notes. He's allowed to do whatever he wants.
But he does want it to be a mega success though, right? I don't know if he wants to like jeopardize that in any way.
Well, it's been paying off. I mean,
it doesn't matter what's in the movie; it'll be successful. It doesn't matter what you put in the movie. It's Avatar. He can do whatever he wants. Just put the word Avatar in the title. Like, you got it. You got $1 billion. Congratulations.
I think there's an expectation of high quality. I mean, I think that's what Avatar sells, and that's why people see it. If this movie had like
high quality of what?
Of the experience, of the spectacle, you're going into the theater and you're experiencing something you can only experience in the theater. You get your 3D and you watch it, and people aren't really rewatching these as much, on Disney Plus or whatever, I imagine, so it's like every few years you go and you have an experience in a theater that's unique to that, and that's what theaters are about. And it's like Avatar is selling that, and then certain big ticket spectacles are selling that. Sure. Marvel isn't even selling that anymore because you can watch Marvel on Disney Plus, and watch a show.
What I'm trying to get at is like, okay, what's the scenario of like him being experimental that he's too afraid to do at this moment that wouldn't include the reasons why people watch this movie, like things that would not allow the film to be like a spectacle.
What do you mean?
Right? There's nothing. There's no reason why this can't be a good movie. There's no reason why he can't have a good story and still make money at the same time. He's choosing not to.
Yeah, and that's my biggest issue with it.
No, I think that he made the movie he wanted to make. I think that, I feel like it doesn't work in a lot of ways, and I feel like it's flawed, but I do feel like people are generally satisfied with this film, and they're having an enjoyable time. So
I don't buy that this is like the story of him telling like a passion project story when he literally just stretched out a story into 2 movies. Like that's like the Hobbit shit, like this was money. Sure, there's his own personality in it. Sure, there are his hyperfixations are littered throughout the film, but like in terms of like, oh yeah, I really needed to like get this off my chest. This is the story I needed to tell. I don't buy that. Maybe it's somewhere within these 2 movies, whittled down, but not they are.
I think that's what the issue is that story's going to be in there, but it's not going to be 2 movies. It's not going to be 3 movies. It's going to be like 5 movies. And we're watching like the extended editions first time instead of a more succinct thing with then the option to opt in on Disney Plus and watch the extended versions or whatever, which I'd prefer if the story could be a bit more consistent overall. But I don't know. I can also still see the appeal of like this world and the action and whatnot.
You guys just have to wait till 2046 when Avatar 5 comes out, and it'll all come together and it'll all make perfect sense. So just trust, have faith, it's all going to work out. Don't worry.
Was this supposed to be the Seed Bearer? Because I remember that was supposed to be the name of one of them.
Yeah, when the Na'vi fly back to Earth and they have cyberpunk battles with Mecha Trump, and they plant seeds in Earth, and Awa sprouts on Earth, and it's like WALL-E. It's going to be so fucking cool. You guys, and Adam, you're going to be like, oh yeah, you're going to be crying. You're going to be like, oh, I was so wrong. Yeah.
Hey, my words.
I'll be crying.
Yeah.
I watched this in D-Box.
What is that?
The seat was moving.
Yeah, I've never been to a D-Box. Right.
I felt like if there was going to be any film that I'd do it with, it would be this one.
What is that?
Yeah.
And I made the right choice because it was nice having something like, kind of shake me awake every 5 minutes.
Was it the high frame rate?
It was high frame rate, which I found to be so fucking stupid again. And I realized as I was recording my review for this, I realized that the same thing happened with the second movie, and I just forgot about it until now, where I watched the film and I think like, damn, this projector is really chugging along. It's not high frame rate throughout. And then I look online and find out, oh no, James Cameron decided some scenes are 48 frames per second and some scenes are 24. And I go, okay, weird. Maybe people don't notice that, but it was so distracting for me.
Huh. Yeah, I had a weird experience with that where learning my lesson from Way of Water where I just couldn't get on with that frame rate thing. I really did not like it as an experience. Actually, for this one, I seeked out the like worst theater I knew, knowing that it would be a consistent 24 frame rate, and it was.
That's funny.
I preferred that experience over.
That's hilarious. Maybe that's why you liked it more.
High frame rate. Yeah, because the same thing happened with Way of Water. Like, I genuinely couldn't really focus on it because I was finding it so distracting and just ripping me out of like any story or character that was happening. And when I rewatched Way of Water, I did the same thing and seeked out somewhere with the lower frame rate, and I did prefer the experience.
If it's higher frame rate, that's fine. Just have it consistent. Why do you have to change the frame rate? It's so weird.
I didn't notice the frame rate change. I don't know if it's because, like, you guys are gamers. I don't know if that's something that would make...
Well, yeah, I was waiting to be held the controller and start playing when I was...
Right. Yeah, I couldn't tell any difference.
Felt like the transition from a cutscene to the gameplay, yeah.
Oh, I see.
It's a gamer thing. You wouldn't understand.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. I'm too much of a normie.
It's our culture.
Yeah.
Yeah, what the fuck? This whole thing was so stupid. I hated it. This is the film where, as I was watching it, I learned that Sam Worthington is Australian because I could hear his fucking Aussie accent
every time you yell.
in the movie.
It's egregious in the original too.
This is hundreds of millions of dollars. You couldn't do ADR for a line?
Just make him Aussie at this point.
When I drop my arm, you and your new girlfriend die. Wait, like, what the fuck? I was watching that just being like, seriously? What? That's how I learned he's Australian. I didn't even know.
Maybe they should have let him, like, as he became a Na'vi, go from the more American accent into the Aussie accent. That would have been fun.
There's a base standard, right? As you said, Jake, people are expecting a level of quality from these. I am too, right? I'm expecting at the bare minimum, do some fucking ADR.
Okay.
Why? How can that get through so many people?
Because it's Jake. That's Jake Sully, man. Everyone loves Jake.
It's Jake Sully, yeah.
Because it's James Cameron and people are afraid to tell him anything, apparently.
I like Jake.
I like him because he has my name, so I think he can. He can say as much Australian shit as he wants. He's
okay.
He's my friend. Yeah, I don't know. It just doesn't bug me. I don't know.
Yeah, me neither.
Okay.
Do you guys have ratings for this film?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I got ratings. I would. Okay. I kind of gave it away in my opening thing. It's a 3-star for me. But I'm gonna watch it again. I'm gonna be there for the next one. you just called it stupid, Adam, and I'm right there with you. But that's why I like it.
Yeah, I'm with you, Alex. I'm right on 3 stars, 6 out of 10. Yeah.
I just feel like in this 6.5 hours of Avatar sequels, probably is like a really good 2.5, 3 hour movie in there somewhere. I do think it's suffering not having a central character like Jake from the first movie, though, where like the dynamic there I felt was a lot more, I don't know, had a lot more like tension. The sci-fi concepts of being like a paraplegic and having this like freedom of being put into this big alien body, and that experience is just a bit more like involving than like all these different family dynamics, which are big and broad and I guess more relatable to people, but I don't know. I liked having the focus of a main character. I'm getting that more from the villain at this point.
Right. Adam?
Yeah. Well, it's a awful, fake, phony, insincere, cash grab piece of shit. I can't believe they just tricked me into watching the second movie again, but worse. Literally just felt like deleted scenes from that movie. I would have at the very least expected, like, oh yeah, they're doing the same thing again, but it's fire. And there was a little bit of fire, but they just did water again. James Cameron can't fucking help himself. He's fucking jerking off to the water physics the entire fucking movie. 2 out of 10. I hated this. I hated this so much.
They did need to change biome. But we got
they
at least
did!
go to Ice Na'vi next.
They should have!
No, but they didn't commit to it. They like gave you a little taste of it and then ripped it away.
They should have, is what I meant.
Volcano fight, Yeah, exactly. Yeah, give me a volcano fight scene. Let's see the Ice Na'vi now. What are we going to see next? Show us a different biome.
Like, have it be an excuse to showcase like technological achievements, because that's what the second film still felt like at the end of the day. It was like, at least we're getting a good tech demo. You see the Corridor Digital crew talking about just dissecting that shot of like the hand in the water, being like, how the hell did they do that? And it's a really interesting breakdown, right? There's nothing like that in this movie. There's nothing like that with the fire effects. It looks like any other fire and explosion effects from any other fucking movie that you'd see. And the water doesn't look as good, or, like there's nothing showy or spectacularly about the water in this film. It's just like, okay, yeah, more scenes from the second movie. That's it. Why did we fucking watch this? I'm pissed.
Because Jake Sully.
Well, I hope that Awa forgives you and that you find peace with Awa, Adam.
Awa looks like a big baby, is what I learned watching this. He's got a big baby face.
Yeah. Yeah, what's wrong with that?
It looks funny.
Yeah.
You think babies are funny? Huh?
Yeah.
All right. Let's move on.
Damn.
I gotta pee.
All right.
I'll be right back.
Sure thing. Damn. Anyway, now Adam's gone, I can talk about how much I love Avatar, Fire and Ash. This redefined cinema, man.
All right, I'm back. Hello.
Why so blue? Why so blue, Adam? Why so blue?
It's because the Na'vi are blue.
I re-listened to Way of Water, Sardonicast.
Oh.
And you made a funny comment about the Na'vi. Actually, it might have been the original Avatar discussion, saying that they're the perfect halfway point between a furry and a weeb. So that's the most apt way to describe the Na'vi.
Yeah, basically. It's appealing for everybody. It's so funny because like I have such a vague memory of those films that like my discussions on them, like I don't remember either. Which is why the frame rate thing tricked me again. It hasn't even been that long. I had to rediscover it.
No, I can hardly even explain my affinity for these movies. But it's there. I can't lie, can't deny.
It's the furry and weeb combo.
Exactly. Yeah. It's my weakness, man.
There is something about these films that people just like, and it doesn't matter what's in the movie.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah,
basically.
Just like people that I know that like just don't go to the cinema, they're going to see this, and it's like, okay, like just everyone, like I don't know if it's like magic or what he's doing. It like puts everyone under a spell. Everyone just wants to be in Pandora.
Yeah, I mean, like it's the Disney eyes, kind of.
Yeah, it's a similar thing.
It's realistic.
But I'm just kind of like I want to just like put a VR headset on and just like fly through and like pick up rocks and stuff. Like that's
sure.
Well, like a mockumentary set in Pandora is like would be my dream. I think that could be like genuinely cool.
The best Disney World ride, in my opinion, is the Avatar one where you're like flying. It's like a newer one, but it's like cool.
See, I haven't been to Disney in so long. Avatar wasn't even released when I was there, so I don't even know what that's like. But that does sound cool.
Let's do it.
I'm down.
Sardonicast trip to Disney World?
Yeah, I think at one point we were actually planning on doing that way back when, right? And then COVID interrupted it, and then we forgot about it. I'd like to do a Sardisney.
Sardisney.
I'll just leave my kid off, drop him off at daycare. We'll go hang out at Disney World.
Sure. All right, we'll think about it. Marty Supreme.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
The Safdie done it again.
The Safdie and Bronstein.
True.
Yeah.
Don't forget the Bronstein.
Mm-hmm. Important part of that collaboration, I came to learn.
Yeah, that's becoming more and more apparent.
Yeah.
Bronstein actually directed... Is it who I'm thinking of or somebody else? Let's see. Never mind. I was confusing it with somebody else. So there was a bunch of hype around this movie. Tim Cham decided to hype it up. I guess this is the result of nobody watching movies in theaters.
Yeah, where did that come from? Is that mostly Tim Cham?
Yeah, I mean he produced the movie.
I guess so, right?
Too. So.
Yeah. I mean he did a good job.
Yeah.
It was like a meme.
He might get an Oscar.
This one's getting noms for sure.
This will be the historic first time in history that the Academy is forced to acknowledge the Safdies.
True.
Because Sandler didn't even get a
exactly.
nom, right?
That's
insane.
No, he didn't even get a nom.
That's
what?
So
they have gotten no noms. This might also be the first Oscars where they're forced to acknowledge Chan-wook Park as well. No noms for him ever.
That's wild.
There's a lot of insanity at the Oscars.
Yeah. That's why we're going this year, and we're going to tear shit up.
We're sneaking in.
We're sneaking in. We're going to go nude and run across the stage. Like back in the
Don't tell them that. That's a secret.
We got to come up with a whole new plan now.
Fuck.
Yeah, I guess so. Sorry. Guys, this movie was so good. I loved this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was excellent.
It was a treat.
It was excellent.
A treat.
It was a treat. It was a nice, tasty treat.
A tasty little treat. A little stressful nightmare.
I watched it directly after Avatar 3 also, so it was even better. I was like, I'm doing a 2-movie day, and I ordered it the correct way.
That's a funny contrast, yeah.
I mean, I kind of knew. I kind of knew how I would feel. Yeah, this is a nice balance between the classic anxiety and style heavy Safdie presentation while toning it back enough to have it still be accessible to mainstream audiences.
Yeah.
But still not lose its identity and not be like, not be not weird or fun.
I don't know about that. I feel like it is just as, if not more stressful than Uncut Gems and Good Time. It is like, this is like a really intense film, way more than I expected, because the people were pitching it kind of like you are, Adam. Kind of like, yeah, it's like Uncut Gems, but with like a bit of a warmer heart to it,
Well, it's funnier.
Is it? I don't know.
I think so.
I mean,
I think it's funnier.
I guess. Oh, that's true. There's some really good jokes in this film. But I do think maybe making it like a period drama, it puts a little more distancing to it. Whereas like Uncut Gems set only a few years, set in 2012 and it came out in 2019, right? So it's like a bit more present, and Sandler is such a lovable, guy, and seeing him in that role is like a lot more like distancing and alienating, and he's not, you can't, you cut him way less slack because he's a grown-ass adult. He's like an older man with a serious gambling problem, whereas in this film it's like he's a dude who's like in his 20s trying to make it big and do great things. And I think a lot of people relate to that, at a certain point in your life when you're like, I'm going to do great things. I don't care about anything else. I'm going to be great. And what's funny to me is that there's like online, ever since this movie came out, there's like all the Puritans talking about how like, well, Marty is a bad guy. Why are we glamorizing his actions? And I'm like, the fuck? like yeah, he's a shitty guy. Like that's kind of the point. That's part of his character growth, his character arc, and I just feel very strongly about like that's just insanely stupid reading of this film.
You wonder sometimes if people have seen movies that aren't Disney properties ever before in their entire lives. Because I think for some people that is the case,
Yeah, to a little bit of thinking, just a little bit. Yeah, read between the lines just slightly. Even though, like, I don't even know how you could miss it. It's not like it's particularly subtle with like what it's saying from the title sequence alone. It's like a visual metaphor of like the entire film. A really funny, clever opening sequence too. But yeah, speaking on Uncut Gems, that is a bit more anxiety-inducing. And that might be one of the most like anxious films I've seen. Way more like fatalistic and harsh. And I kind of love it for that. And I think it slightly edges itself out because of just how committed to that bit it is for me. That's not to say I didn't enjoy this. I did like this narcissistic main character and his obsession with his like perceived greatness and these pursuits and how that clashes against people in his life in this super chaotic way where he's like scamming everyone he knows and is humiliating himself to get to this point. And yeah, the way it goes, the arc of his character is really satisfying. And is emphasized by this really wonderful creative decision of this strange like 80s score with the 50s setting, but it just seems so kind of poignant and relevant to now, and this kind of like hustle kind of attitude. And yeah, I'm American, I'm trying to succeed, and I'm going to shit on whoever I can in order to do it. And it just felt like very, I don't know, poignant.
Yeah, I was initially just kind of like almost weirded out by the when I heard the score. I was like, wait, this is like not the time period, but it worked really well. It doesn't make
sense.
I like
it adds something.
One thrick took point never. I don't remember how to pronounce it. The guy, the composer, he's done a lot of great work for Safdie projects.
Yeah, Uncut Gems too, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and Good Time.
Good Time.
Um,
yeah, the original score is great, and the the needle drops too.
Yes.
Also a great storytelling.
Yeah, great editing. Like, it's just really well put together. It flows really nicely. I'm looking at the runtime 2.5 hours. It's like, I don't know, it didn't feel like that. It felt like under 2 hours, really. Not something where you feel the need to check the time watching it, in my opinion.
It's, guys, this was, if not for one battle after another, this would be my movie of the year. It hit me perfectly.
Sure.
I think, like, the idea of like this guy trying to do something great and succeed in that, like, kind of impossible feat that is so, like, harming everyone in his life, and also just like the story of growing up and like seeing something beyond yourself. And of course, I'm gonna be a sucker for the ending, obviously.
Yeah, the ending's gonna get. I was about to say the same thing.
Spoiler
it's
talk, everybody.
For me,
what happens?
Are we doing spoilers? Okay,
Might as well.
He has his triumph in Japan, and I love how that whole climax goes down, because it's like, he goes there, he finally gives in, he finally begs Kevin O'Leary, who's such a slimy asshole in this film,
and in real life,
is so good at being himself. Yeah, he's just like, I love how on the press junket he's like, yeah, Josh Safdie came up to me and was like, we need an asshole for this film, and he's like, you're an asshole, come on. The casting in this movie is so great. Anyways,
love Tyler.
So
also.
he gets paddled by Kevin O'Leary, and he begs to go to Japan, and he does. But while he's there doing this like fake sham of a competition with Shinzo, right? I think that's his name. He learns that he actually is not allowed to go to the World Championship or whatever. He's been rejected because of his behavior, which makes total sense. And then he realizes, like, this is my one shot to prove to myself that I'm great, that I'm the best, you know. And it's that's just so charming, where it's like he's willing to just throw it all away just to prove to himself that he's the best. And it's that triumph that he has is so cathartic and wonderful. But when he comes back, you know, and like his whole world is in ruins, you know, his childhood sweetheart who's pregnant with his child is like going into labor and it got shot, you know, like this movie's insane. But he goes back, and of course the baby is born. He says to her, like, I'm here for you, you know, I'm going to be here. And then he meets his child, and that wonderful needle drop. What's the song? Everyone Wants to Rule the World, right?
Yep.
And I'm just a sucker. I mean, I was crying. I was like, this is just, because that stress and anxiety, that pressure builds and builds and builds. And I thought at the end of the film, he was going to discover that she died. I thought Rachel would have died, you know, and he was going to, and I think a lot of people wanted that to happen, because they're like, he needs to be punished for his behavior. And it's like the fact that he's there and he's like, I want to be present with this child. Like, this is my baby. Like, I'm going to change. And I think a lot of people are like, well, that doesn't feel earned. And I think that's entirely the point. You know, it's not earned. You know, that's like part of life, is that things get thrown at you, and it's how you react to it. And it's just such a wonderful, like, depiction of that moment, that switch in his mind that he builds to that catharsis, that epiphany. That's like an emotional, like, what the fuck? I finally have something bigger than myself. And it's like a tragic thing. I think he is sad in a way, but it's also cathartic, because it's no longer just about me. And that's a pressure off your shoulders, you know? So I loved that ending. I thought it worked really well.
That gives it like a nice emotional complexity. It didn't feel... Yeah, it gave it like a bit of a question mark there for me.
Absolutely.
As like, is he fully happy in this moment? Is this a mixture of like the overwhelm of becoming a parent, as well as like maybe because he's looking through glass too. There's a distance between him and his baby, so there's kind of the reflective aspect going on.
And the look the baby gives him is just like, who the fuck are you?
yeah. But there is kind of some like karmic justice to the way it doesn't do like a typical sports movie thing of him, you know, winning the league or whatever. Like he gets his own small win, his micro win.
Yeah.
But it's like a macro loss from like the audience's perspective. Like he doesn't achieve his goals really, because he always picks the worst decision, and they catch up to him at that point. You know, right after being humiliated, being paddled, and there is like the catharsis to him winning against this person that he's like zoned in as his rival, even though he only lost to him once. But yeah, it does create this kind of emotionally complex resolution that, it doesn't feel like it's hand waving or justifying or trying to say that like, yeah, it was all worth it in the end type thing. It felt more complex.
Yeah,
there was more to pick at.
It's definitely not like black and white, but it does feel like it kind of wraps things up in a nice way, kind of closes like a chapter in his life. And it's much less dark of an ending than Good Time or Uncut Gems.
Yeah,
you know,
much less.
Yeah, I think that's what I think of. What I think, like, something that's a bit more accessible to mainstream audiences. I feel like the tone was generally more forgiving throughout, but especially an ending is going to dictate a lot of people's discomforts or lack thereof when watching a film. Also, I love that, in a way it's kind of a sports movie, but it's also mostly not. But it's still, in the context of the sports movie type scenes, they're still really good. Like they're watchable, really compelling ping pong scenes.
Oh yeah.
And that kind of brings something new because I, never seen a ping pong movie. They exist, but
Yeah. It's a funny sport to choose as well.
Yeah.
Kind of
exactly.
Just has like a visual element to what he's sacrificing for nothing against ping pong, but like just how it looks, the paddles, the something kind of small about it, these small little tables. There's something visually funny about it. It's funny. Like that he's committing himself in this way to the sport, and what he's sacrificing to do it, and the people he's fucking over. Yeah. a little mini baby tennis.
Lighter, more delicate tennis.
There were moments in this movie where I was laughing out loud. There's another couple in the theater where I saw it, and it was just, they were dead silent during certain lines that were just like, how the fuck did he just say this to someone who's like a concentration camp survivor? He's like, yeah, I'm gonna make him wish that he was back in Auschwitz or something like that, something horrible. So and everyone is like gasps, and just like, are you allowed to say that? It's like only 1950 or something, like, just how brash he is. Like Timothy Chalamet is just, he has the perfect level of charisma to be able to be such an asshole. Just like, he's still like a lovable tramp, And
you know what? It's kind of nice seeing someone with as much like name and star power as him producing a film where he's playing a character that is complicated and not like a moral good guy. Because so often we see like anybody trying to be like a Hollywood celebrity type, household name will be like, oh no, yeah, I'm playing a good guy because I have to be perceived as a good person, sort of thing. And it's just like, fuck off. Complex characters are good, and I like that Tim Cham. There's a part of him that is definitely an artist, and he sees the value in portraying complex characters.
That's kind of what bothered me about The Smashing Machine. Speaking of the Safdies, finally got around to seeing it, and it was like all this kudos for The Rock, where it's like, hey everyone, he's acting now. It's like
his voice is a little different.
And I especially echo what you're saying with, especially this trend of biopics, like based on real people, and they're often just these puff pieces,
exactly,
that leave out all of the actual real story, your Bohemian Rhapsodies or whatever it may be.
Michael coming out,
but this felt like they picked someone, and I'm sure this isn't that accurate to the real person, and they took creative liberties. But they found the story, they found the angle that makes it prescient now and doesn't just feel like a nostalgia circle jerk, just pop culture nonsense. There's like a purpose to everything.
Is this marketing itself as like a biopic?
No, but Marty Mauser, I'm pretty sure, is a real person. He existed.
He's like semi-based on a real person, I think. Fictionalized, on the scene, the ping pong scene.
I read his Wikipedia and whatnot.
Oh.
Yeah.
Speaking of The Smashing Machine, though, like, it is interesting that those two films from the two brothers, the climax of those two films are about people in some sports field accepting that they are not the best. Or, I guess in Marty Supreme's case, like, he wins, so he's like the best, but he doesn't really like succeed in his dream. Whereas in The Smashing Machine, like, the climax of the movie is him just being like, yeah, I'm not the best, and that's fine. It's an interesting thing that both of these brothers are like fixated on the idea of being the best of all, being so great, and also accepting that that's not like what life is all about. I mean, I don't know. It's a really interesting to pair these two movies together. I think Smashing Machine is kind of boring, and it doesn't really work that well.
It's souring on me the more time and distance I'm having from it. There are some straight up like bad scenes in that movie, which I just didn't feel in this one.
Emily Blunt running for the gun, and
that's like
I feel like that's a meme now.
That was a shockingly bad scene. Yeah.
Well, maybe I'll rewatch it at some point. Just reading through the Wikipedia too.
Oh, you found the Marty wiki?
Well, yeah, it says like loosely based.
Yeah, I figured it wouldn't be too literal.
Just inspired by, not biographical.
Yeah, it's like a jumping off point.
Which is kind of interesting. You'd almost think like just make a new character sort of thing.
Yeah, because you must have to like pay like an estate or something. Because that can change it too if you're making these movies based on real people, and they're still alive. And that was the Bohemian Rhapsody problem, right? It was like the whole the surviving members of the band having all this input, and it's like, yeah, of course you're gonna poison it a certain way because obviously like it's based on you, and that's not supposed to be what the story is necessarily about. It's more about what's the truth of this? What's the heart of this? What's the drama in this?
The Michael Jackson biopic, like his family's involved. It's like, okay, well.
Do they have a Polymarket bet up about if that's going to be a 2-part movie or not yet?
I don't know. There's probably a Polymarket thing for everything.
Yeah.
There was Polymarket at the Golden Globes.
Oh, well, duh. Really? That's a thing that's on TV.
They were like, they had it on the Chiron at the bottom, like on the TV, like while the Globes was playing. They would have like predictions for who's going to win Best Supporting Actor.
Oh,
it's
like the odds.
Oh yeah, no, it's gambling's in sports. Yeah, like they're inseparable.
Yeah, I knew it was in sports, but it seems like over the past like 10 years, it's like just infected everything. Like you can gamble on anything.
I think any way to siphon more money out of poor people is good, because you might as well just speed things up.
I knew you'd say that.
You're just delaying the inevitable, so you might as well just fucking
It's getting so blatant and absurd too. It's like
if they made Uncut Gems today, it'd just be Adam Sandler sitting in his house on his phone, just like, shit. Yeah,
it's like a casino, but you can't leave.
Yeah, truly.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Having a casino in your pocket at all times. Awesome idea, dude.
Yeah, what are you gonna do? Yeah, no, I love the style of this film. I also just love how like kind of bonkers it is. Everything that happens in it narratively is very satisfying for me.
You can't really predict where it's moving either. The way it kind of jumps around to these different triangles of characters.
It's just
we haven't mentioned
flow.
Gwyneth Paltrow.
Yeah.
But I really love that dynamic, that triangle between Gwyneth Paltrow and her husband and Marty was very intriguing to me. The way they're all kind of using each other for different things in different ways. I love that.
I love the stuff with Rachel and the dog, and how like the moment he discovers that it's like makeup on her eye, that she was faking getting the black eye after he'd already gone and like beaten the guy to a pulp, and I'm like, is he dead? Like I literally thought when she came back to the apartment he was just gonna be dead on the floor. Like because I didn't. That's what's so thrilling about this movie, that it feels so real and like anything could happen. There's like explosions, like the scene when after they trick all the guys, they get all the money, hustling pool, and they go off and they're like so happy, and then the guys chase them down, and Marty Mauser's just like, I'll just talk to them, like an angry mob of like 30 guys. And like he ends up spraying gasoline all over them, and they like escape, and they all light up. Like there's action sequences in this movie that are like insane. Shootouts, gunfight, like it's
chaotic.
It really is like having everything in there, but in such like a again, it just feels very real, and like shit is just kind of happening and unfolding, but in a very authentic way. And Rachel, as like when she gets shot, in the final shootout, when they go to try to get the dog with God, what's the director's name who played the guy who had the dog?
Abel
Ferrara.
Yes.
Abel Ferrara, right? He was so good in this.
Yeah, he was excellent.
And And, you know, after that scene when she says, like, hey, I got the money, you know, now you can go to Japan. When it's like, she didn't have to do any of this. He just begged Kevin O'Leary to go to Japan, and she didn't even get the money. But he's just like, yeah, you did. Like, thank you so much. And I feel like that's also another step building up towards that final catharsis of, like, what am I doing with my life? You know, like, she got shot. She's doing this for me so that I can go achieve my dream. Yeah. So it really is kind of like well plotted. And I don't know if you guys are interested in hearing a contrarian view, but I did want to share. Joyce Carol Oates is big on Twitter. Do you guys know Joyce Carol Oates?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Highly respected literary fiction writer who's been writing for ages. She's like in her 80s or something. She's incredibly old, but she's super online, and it's very funny. But she was sharing. She's a great poster, just legendary poster. And she's written like 1,000 books. But she was sharing her opinions on Marty Supreme. She did not like it. And I thought her opinions were very indicative of what a lot of people were complaining about this film, which I do want to give voice to that and kind of like share a critique of the film.
Sure.
That I don't find valid, but I think it's fair. She likes Uncut Gems, but she did not like Marty Supreme. So she said, understandably, many people love Marty Supreme, and I don't want to provoke them in total agreement that Chalamet's performance is great, but it's also very repetitive. We see Marty shouting, quarreling, interrupting, hyperventilating in exactly the same way through the entire movie without the sense that, as in A Complete Unknown, there is emotional growth in the character, until the very end, with the sort of abrupt transformation that would be disdained in women's romances. The notion that manic 23-year-old Marty Mauser is going to settle down with his immature young wife and raise a child together feels totally absurd, but Chalamet can almost make us believe this might be so. What do you guys think about that?
Well, I mean, you know, what's kind of, as I'm realizing right now as you're describing it, it's almost as if we, the audience, are being manipulated by him as well. Like we're just another character in the line of people that get screwed over by him.
Yeah.
Sure.
Which is kind of interesting to think about in that sense.
Way.
Yeah.
As like a redemption, or that he's necessarily going to change. We don't know. That's left open to interpretation to me. Because like my interpretation was that he's not necessarily going to change his entire being for this baby. I don't know if that's really entirely what it's going for, but I can see why someone would take that away. She's not alone. I've seen a couple other reviews saying a similar thing, especially about that ending seems to be the main sticking point, I think.
Yeah, and it's like whether or not the character like believes it in that moment, sort of thing. Like I don't think the film necessarily requires like a belief that things happening after the credits are taking place, you know?
Well, not only that, but once the needle drop hits, you know, everyone wants to rule the world is playing. We still hear all the screaming babies.
Exactly.
You know, throughout the credits.
Yeah.
Which is a bit unnerving. And, you know, it's interesting. I was listening to an interview with Josh Safdie, but he said that, you know, initially after this ending happens, after he sees his baby, there was going to be a montage of him growing old and being a father and like being a good present father and like having a good business and everything and being normal, you know, and that was going to be the ending of the film. And I think that is, while valid and would have been fine, I feel like it's much stronger leaving it with this ambiguity.
Yeah, I don't know if I would have liked that. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
it takes out the vagueness.
I just thought that was interesting.
Yeah, it does seem to be connecting a lot among awards type people also.
Yeah, I think it's Tim Cham's to lose at this point. I thought it was Leo had a shot, but I feel like people are ready to anoint Timmy. He's fought for it.
Yeah, we'll see.
I feel like this might sound crazy, but I feel like he has a career trajectory of early Tom Cruise.
I don't know what that would mean.
Like having some mega hits and like franchise stuff, you know, being in Top Gun, but also working with like and seeking out auteurs to work, you know, like I'm thinking of The Color of Money, you know.
Okay.
and working with Scorsese. And before he became the Tom Cruise action star, earlier in his career, he's working with lots of different
that makes more sense.
Great filmmakers. I feel like Timothée Chalamet's career could go more of a Leo direction or more in a Tom Cruise direction. He's got Dune, he's like a mega box office draw now, and he can also bring audiences to go see an offbeat stress drama like this.
He's a proper celebrity.
Yeah, he is.
Like he's a box office draw for sure, and he's more talented than The Rock for sure.
So he has range. He can play like different characters, a huge range of characters actually when you look at his filmography.
Yeah, Call Me by Your Name.
Mm-hmm.
He played a twink.
I think that Josh and Benny should trade. They should trade Timothy and The Rock, and then we can see who's really the better filmmaker. Let's see Josh make a movie with The Rock and see how that goes.
Or remake the same movie and swap the actors.
Yeah, that wouldn't be a waste of anyone's time.
I mean, we can just do that with AI. So
here's what I want to know, because I do feel like Josh has basically made his trilogy that are different but similar in so many ways, especially like structurally, from Good Time to Uncut Gems to Marty Supreme. Is he going to make a movie in a different register? Because I think this movie is just like, it is a step in a different direction slightly, but it is like, does he have more? Is there more range there? That's what I want to know.
I wonder. I mean, like, I think based off of like what they've been making, there's clearly certain types of characters and scenarios and emotions that they enjoy. So I don't know, like you could still have a lot of the same Safdie-isms without necessarily creating that similar of a story again. Yeah. So I mean, we'll see what happens, I guess.
Is he going to make an Ella McKay? Is he going to make an Interstellar? Like, there's
right. Well, I feel like that chaos could apply itself to many different types of stories.
Oh, sure.
And that anxiety too. That's such a big part of their movies. I'd almost like to see like a complete inverse, but I'm saying they just instinctively. He does it so well in this movie. I feel like, there's more to play with there.
I'm not complaining. I mean, I love Uncut. I mean, I love these types of movies. I love what he's doing. So it's not like, if he wants to keep making movies just like this, I'm all for it. But I am curious.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like a one-trick pony. Yeah.
Also, I really enjoy the woman who plays Rachel, Odessa
A'zion.
A'zion. I have no idea where she's from. But yeah, she's been just doing like random horror movies. I saw her in Hellraiser, and she was really good.
Oh, yeah.
And so, now that she's in like an actual Oscar movie, I feel like that's really cool.
Tyler, the Creator, he was good.
Hell yeah. Love Tyler.
Yeah, he was great. Yeah, the whole like crime element and the bathtub scene really got me. The anxiety and the sudden unexpected violence. I was like, this is great.
Oh, that was so good.
Yeah.
It's like a roller coaster. Yeah.
I love a wacky moment like that that's just so not only unpredictable, but so sudden. Yeah. And just like, okay, wow, I guess we're doing this.
It just can't even take a breath.
Within a second. Yeah. I'm like, glad I didn't go to the bathroom.
True. And honestly, shout out to all the little bit characters that are in it for literally like one or two shots or small little scenes that steal the show in like a Coen Brothers kind of way. It's like that's like a real dude. Like I've spoken to this dude. I've seen this dude walking around. Feels like real and organic.
David Mamet has like a cameo in this. I think he's the theater director of her Gwyneth Paltrow's show. I didn't even know it was him, but I just was hearing like there's lots of different directors and random people. That's just like, I love seeing that in movies, and it goes to show you like you don't need a professional actor. You need someone who can just play the part, and that's like with Kevin O'Leary is like perfect in this movie. Good Would casting. He be great in other movies? Not necessarily, but he was perfect for this part.
Yeah. I think they're doing like a casting Oscar category at some point.
Yeah, I think they're doing that this year. Yeah,
they're doing that this year.
I believe so. Yeah, I think they're doing their casting. Yeah.
Well, then Marty should get a nom.
Let's see what they pick, yeah.
What would you guys rate this film?
I give it a fucking 9. I loved it.
Ooh.
Nice.
So it's better than Avatar.
Just a little bit. Really strong 4-star for me. Might go up on a rewatch, as I said. But I do. If I want that chaos, I think I want to go for that misery of Uncut Gems. Just a little bit more.
Yeah. Of course you would. Of course you would. like the dark shit. Yeah, 10 out of 10, guys. Not to be the hyperbolic normie here, but yeah, it is my second favorite movie of the year, right behind One Battle.
Very cool.
At least as for now, I haven't seen a lot of movies this year. I haven't seen Hamnet or lots of stuff. But
I mean, you have seen a lot of movies. You're saying there's a lot you haven't seen.
Yes, thank you. There's a lot that I have not seen in 2025.
I'm not looking forward to Hamnet.
Yeah, me neither. Well, I know what it's about. Yeah. I feel like it's going to make me sad. Yeah, let's just watch a 2-hour movie about, how your kid died. Yeah, sounds fun. I'm sure it might be great, but it's like, it's one of those things just like, fuck. All right, here we go.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like, yeah, in terms of what's probably going to get a nomination, I feel like I'm pretty caught up. I just need to watch Hamnet and Wicked for Good, and then
good luck.
I don't think you got to worry about Wicked for Good.
Oh, it's not getting a nom for anything.
I think it's going to get a nom annoyingly, and it's going to.
It's going to get a few.
Me off. Yeah.
Yeah, but not for Best Picture. I don't think. I think it's kind of blocked out of there. Yeah.
That'd be egregious. Yeah. Oh my god, it's so fucking bad.
It was.
It'd be nice if this year the Best Picture noms were like half foreign films, because it's a really good year for that.
Did you guys see It Was Just an Accident?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah,
it's great.
I want to see that still.
Yeah, I loved it.
Check that out.
Yeah.
Thanks to you guys, I saw No Other Choice. I don't think I would have otherwise. So,
I'm so happy you
that's
did.
like that's my third or fourth favorite of the year. Absolutely.
I think that's my favorite of the year at the moment.
Nice.
Nice. Yeah, it's only grown on me.
Yeah, it's awesome. I've seen it twice.
I was wondering, what if we did an episode that's like, maybe around the Oscars time, that's just like doing our ranking of best and worst movies. That could be fun.
What do you mean? Of the best and worst movies of the Oscar noms?
Of 2025. Just like do
I don't know.
Could be fun.
I suppose we can mention what we would give, the Oscar to if we had the power type thing.
Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. No promises.
Yeah.
The Oscar noms will be out by the time the next episode's out. So
Yeah.
everybody stay tuned.
Yeah, it's moving quick.
No, I've been sipping on that throat coat. Have you guys tried that? It's
what? Throat goat?
It's like a type of tea.
Alex was saying he's the throat goat.
I'm the throat goat, guys.
What?
No, it's a type of tea. It's some kind of elm based tea that's really good for when you're recording and stuff. Especially good when you're ill.
You're always drinking some strange potion. I'm learning about hot toddy.
Yeah,
I'm learning about the throat goat.
Good to remember.
They got many types of teas.
Yeah, those people over there.
I'm being the stereotype.
They got teas for days.
We just got Coca-Cola.
Root beer.
Sure. All right, Alex, take it away.
Right, yeah. My recommendation was This Is Spinal Tap from 1984, directed by Rob Reiner. I don't really have much to say about what's happened with him, but I obviously chose it for his sudden death. It's horrifying. I wish that didn't happen. But he's a story director with a nice amount of range. I like seeing all the different projects from him. He's done all sorts in comedy and horror and fantasy. Love to see it, but this is is it kind of like the defining comedy mockumentary that kind of like really started this as a trend? I'd say it's really popularized it anyway, based on a fictional English rock band from the 80s. Very what was it? It's so dry and awkward. I'm amazed it's not British. Like the way it's presented is so dry and believable that apparently even like Ozzy Osbourne, when he watched it, he just took it like face value and like was like, wow, this is like an incredible documentary about how about what it's like to be in this scene. Like he just bought into it, which is absurd. But it definitely like connected with some sort of truth, I guess.
Who said that?
Ozzy Osbourne.
Oh, that's funny.
When he watched this, which I think is hilarious. Yeah, so cute, nimble mockumentary. that I somehow hadn't seen. I know the osmosis jokes from it, turn it up to 11 and stuff like that. There's some of the stuff that has embodied the culture for sure and has stood the test of time. But like, I don't know, a lot of older comedies, if you go back, it can maybe not hit you as intended, and I was a bit worried that might happen, but I found this to be surprisingly funny with some standout. I actually thought Christopher Guest was the standout comedic performance for me, which we can get into as we go in. But I thought this was charming. It knew when to wrap up that nimble 1 hour and 22-minute long runtime. Lots of kind of quotable, funny moments, fun scenes. It kind of had the nice balance of the improv feeling, but without taking it too far. The sequel, Spinal Tap 2, The End Continues, came out in 2025, which I guess is Rob Reiner's last movie. Yeah, unfortunately. Which I also checked out today. Oh. Did you guys see that?
I opted to not watch it.
Yeah, don't. I'll go into it a bit more later, but
oh, that's too bad.
yeah. This, I had a consistently funny, enjoyable time with This Is Spinal Tap and was laughing, as you should at comedy. I can't really say that about the sequel, but had you guys seen this before? What is your guys' kind of experience with this movie and this kind of mockumentary format?
Go ahead, Adam.
Well, I've definitely seen at the very least parts of it before. I couldn't tell you if I had watched the whole thing before. I was familiar enough with the turn it up to 11 scene and a couple other, notable gags and moments. But yeah, I mean, like I found it to be a charming, nice, humorous watch, but not humorous to the point of me like really laughing. It was just, it was just positive, but not like super engaged. Mm-hmm. It's a good satire. It feels like an accurate kind of poking fun at in terms of like the decade, the culture. Some of the song lyrics are pretty funny. I like the one at the end, the one that's very sus.
Yeah, the parody songs are great.
Yeah. That's like the defining feature of this era of rock and roll is, the whole point is to have sex with 14-year-olds pretty much.
Yeah. Because are you guys into like classic rock from this era? Your Black Sabbath, Aerosmith,
Ish,
Zeppelin, AC/DC. Yeah, I'm not like huge into it. I like the odd song. I'm more into like the psychedelic kind of rock, and
for sure
that kind of stuff. But it still spoke to me on that parody level because there is something so larger than life, comical about like the way some of these bands like conducted themselves. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot to make fun of and prod at, and it does it in quite an elegant, held back way that I feel like you can believe some of it.
I loved this.
Nice.
I thought this was such a funny film, and I've seen this before, but I saw it like in high school, I think. Like I'm sure I heard some of my favorite like comedy heroes talking about like, oh, so this is Spinal Tap. You always hear comedians talk about like, especially of an older generation, or of, Gen Xers talking about how this is Spinal Tap. Oh, that's the greatest film ever. It's the funniest movie ever. And I saw it, and I was a teenager, and I'm like, this is fine. Like there's not as many jokes as I wanted. It's not like The Lonely Island. It's not like,
right.
It was just not what I was expecting. And rewatching it now after so many years, I barely remembered any part of it except for the Black Album cover. And now rewatching it, I was just amazed at how clever and how dry it is. It's so committed to being a realistic documentary that like you don't see this type of fidelity, this type of hardline dedication to appearing authentic in a mockumentary. Like we've seen so much more of that today that it reminded me in many ways of the show Documentary Now. I don't know if you guys saw that with Bill Hader and Fred Armisen. They did a show called Documentary Now where they basically do This Is Spinal Tap, except they're parodying famous documentaries. Is like the weirdest project that, like, you know, they're doing Beals of Grey Gardens, they're doing, you know, Werner Herzog like parody, like it's so unique. But it's also similarly very dry, and it's not like a joke a minute. It's just like really trying to commit to the bit. And that's what I loved about this movie. Like, there are so many moments in this where a character would say something and I wouldn't really react to it because they're so committed to the acting that I'm just like, okay. And then it'll take a beat, and then I go, fuck, that was really funny. Like, the way they phrase it, like the moment when they're talking about like the drummer, how the drummer keeps dying, and they're talking about it. And, and the guys, they're talking about like the first drummer, like, yeah, it was a gardening accident. And, you know, Scotland Yard, they said that it was actually better to leave it unsolved. Like, yeah, it's just better to, let's just leave this unsolved.
Or just these weird little details, like the gum on the finger. I might need it later, and the whole framing of this past their prime rock band that like keep having their shows cancelled, and it's just getting like more and more embarrassing for them, and they can't like let go. And how funny it is to like cling on to this aesthetic, and how kind of how like sad it is when it's presented this way, and finding the humor in it. Just the lines, they are. Yeah, how straight they are played is what sells it. She can hear I'm eating too much sugar on the phone. And whether he knows the difference between feet and inches is not my problem. The wood line. There's like so many great lines, and they don't play it like too silly. It really is clever.
No, and it's there's also like kind of like a warm heart to it in a way that surprised me. Like, there are moments where it's like that are ripe for a joke, like when Rob Reiner's sitting there and he asks them, like, you know, what would you guys remember the first song you ever wrote together? And it's like, you think it's going to be something silly, and they start singing it, and it's kind of like a sweet little, you know, song that they wrote together, and they sing it together, and you could tell that there's like affection and love between the two guys. That's real, and that kind of keeps you hooked into the story and caring about them. Like, once I was getting to the end of the film, I was like, God, I want these guys to get back together. Like, they belong together, you know? Like, I had a stake in the game where I wasn't just like, oh, fuck these guys, they're all assholes. They are assholes, but it's like, there's something real there that you're rooting for them, you know?
And the level of parody is so clever. Like, it's obviously mostly in the 80s, but I really liked all the 60s parodies. Yeah. Maybe even more the Flower People and the kind of corny, like, just riding off the Beatles type thing. That I thought was really, varied, and the Stonehenge thing and the Britishness of it, the tiny Stonehenge fuck up, I thought was a really funny like bit. Talking about the Druids and stuff like that. I like seeing that like in a movie. I wasn't expecting to see that actually from. It's normally when I bring up Stonehenge to like Americans, they don't even know what it is.
Really?
Yeah.
That's kind of funny. Yeah, I wish I had more to add to this conversation, but it was one of those films where I was just kind of like passively, mildly content, but not offended. You know, like just like, oh, this is nice, and that's kind of just where it ends. Like I don't connect with it a whole lot. It's nice that it exists, and I do appreciate what it's doing. But yeah.
Did you have a favorite cast member, like one you found funniest or most charming? Like I mentioned Christopher Guest. I feel like he nailed it out of the whole cast. I really liked his strange delivery, and the accents too were really believable. I was like, these guys, because I didn't recognize any of them. I don't think actually, outside of Rob Reiner, who I knew wasn't British and isn't British in the film. But that's often like I can tell that's an American doing a British accent. But yeah, they did a really good job with that. Yeah, that kind of corny rock band voice. That's kind of the 80s, and yeah, that really worked for me.
I love how pathetic it is. Like, it just gets increasingly more and more pathetic. They're playing at the U.S. Air Force Base, and I love how sad it is. It's just who's the guy who's the Air Force guy? What's his name? Fred Willard?
No,
I think
Willard. Yeah, the guy from Wall-E.
It is Fred Willard.
Okay. He just has like a tiny little moment in this movie, but it's so great when he's just like so sweet with the guys and just like, what are you, Spinal he calls them, and he's like, "Oh, my hair is getting a little long too. They might think I'm with the band." and
like Billy Crystal has a little cameo too.
Dana Carvey too he was one of the mimes as well. Angelica Houston has a tiny little role in this. A lot of really weird like big names in here.
But they know not to milk it. Like, that's one of the issues the second one has, is it becomes like about cameos and just like milking these jokes like again and again. It's like, oh my God. Yeah, what are you doing? But Jake, have you seen Better Call Saul?
I haven't, no.
Okay, so I'm the only one here.
Damn.
Michael McKean.
Is he in it?
Is David St. Hubbins. Yeah, he's like the blonde main one. And he's like, that's the only other thing I've seen him in, and he is incredible in that show. He's so good.
Oh, really?
This was a funny contrast.
I want to watch it, but I feel like I need to watch Breaking Bad first. But I've never really wanted to watch Breaking Bad.
Oh, interesting.
Do you think I could just watch Better Call Saul without watching Breaking Bad?
Well, why don't you want to watch Breaking Bad?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not much of a meth guy. I don't know.
I mean, it's not like an accurate portrayal of crystal meth, if that's what you're wondering about.
It offends my sensibilities. No, I have no idea. I feel like I've seen it already because it's in memes everywhere. So I feel like I just like know the show, even though I haven't actually watched it. And
I've
tried to watch it a couple times.
You've tried to watch it?
Yeah, I've seen the first like 3 episodes probably a couple times because I've tried to watch it over the years. But
that's interesting. Yeah,
I don't know what it is.
I mean, to me, it's like a nice, it was great when it came out, like super engaging. I'm actually kind of maybe rewatching through it recently. I kind of put on a couple episodes when I felt like watching something that didn't feel like work. So I'm just kind of doing like a passive experience, and we'll see how far I get again. But like there's things to, I don't know, like it's fun characters. It's a nice little piece of television history at the very least.
And yeah, the characters, the character work in Better Call Saul is just next level. It's astonishingly good.
I think I will check out Better Call Saul.
So I should definitely see Breaking Bad first, though, before watching Better Call Saul.
Alex, you'll have to answer that. I don't know.
I have a weird feeling you would like Better Call Saul more, but it is enriched by seeing Breaking Bad.
Yeah, that's what I figure. I mean,
yeah,
I'll find the time at some point. I used to watch so much more TV. I just don't anymore now. But I didn't know that Michael McKean was in that. That's super cool. Yeah, I don't really know what else I've seen Michael McKean and Christopher Guest in. I mean, I recognize them very well. I feel like I've seen them in all sorts of like comedy stuff and little bit parts and on TV shows and everything. But they were so good in this. There are so many moments that, again, just like stand out to me as like what the fuck? Like that's so unique and particular. There's a moment when the manager, who's also wonderful, I love the manager, and he's like yelling at the guy.
He was British.
He's okay. Yeah, he's like yelling at the guys, being like, or the hotel staff. He's like, "Why don't we have rooms? Why don't we have rooms?" And he like insults one of the hotel managers, and the hotel manager, he seemed like a real guy. It seemed like a real guy being offended. He's like, "Yeah, I'm just as God made me, sir."
Yeah, like, that was a great interaction. Yeah.
It just feels like that's not as particularly like a comedy moment. It's just like they allow the film to have like these authentic little beats to make it feel really rich and like a real world, and it makes sense why Ozzy Osbourne would be like, "Oh yeah, that's a real fucking." It's a real fucking
He's like
documentary. And I love the moment when the whatever record company guy is like, none of the Smell the Glove albums are selling, the Totally Black album cover, and they're just sitting there in the record shop, and he's like, "Okay guys, this is on me, this is my fault, I want you guys to kick my ass. I want you to kick it right now." Just so painful and awkward and I don't know. It's just something about it really connected with me, that I loved how the pathetic nature of their endeavors and what they're trying to be, and almost accepting like, hey, maybe it's time that we like change and we don't hang on to this old kind of like these gimmicks and everything, and then at the very last second, you know, you're begging for Nigel to come back, and he does, and he's like, "Hey, Sex Farm is big in Japan."
Yeah.
And we can keep the party going. No, it was great.
There seemed to be something with the 80s SNL crew that seemed to be, I don't know, just on fire. I haven't really seen any of like SNL ever. Whenever I've seen like the more contemporary skits, I'm kind of just like, this, I don't know, seems a bit too obvious or whatever. But the links here seem to have worked out, and it avoided some of the SNL kind of cliches that will tick me off, like just taking it too far or not having much subtlety. But the subtlety was really what sold me here. And having Harry Shearer in there as well, who most probably know as Simpsons like voice actor of Flanders and Skinner and Camp Brockman.
True.
That was a funny pull as well. It's a really good cast that everyone seemed to be on the same wavelength as far as like, we know what kind of comedy we want to do here. We're not going to ruin this, take it too far, get too silly with it. It's just the right level of silly. It feels, like they're real rock stars, and they're kind of in that just out of touch world, and just pointing at the absurdity of it, of that level of entertainment and that level of fame, but also what that looks like when it starts drying up.
Yeah, I can see why people connect with it. I'm just lukewarm.
Because Adam, you've seen Christopher Guest directed mockumentary, right? Best in Show.
Yes.
Have you seen that, Jake? Because that's
I have not. No,
I've never seen that one.
See that.
Because that's often thrown around.
You guys might enjoy it, honestly. It was not my thing.
Yeah, I seem to remember you really not liking it.
I was surprised by not liking it, honestly. I was expecting to like it.
Really? Yeah. It's a funny concept. Like, how does it contrast with this movie as far as a mockumentary, and how realistic or not realistic, or the parody angle? I
mean, in terms of like its authenticity, I would say Spinal Tap's going to be the better film, but it's going for like a bit different of a style of like a mockumentary too. They're similar, but like also very, very different. Same type of humor though, for the most part. Yeah,
I might enjoy it if I did particularly think Christopher Guest sold that Nigel character in a funny way.
Yeah, people do really enjoy Best in Show. It's just not for me.
Can I just admire some of the lyrics here? I just pulled up the lyrics to the song Big Bottom, and I just want to read a segment.
Yeah.
The bigger the cushion, the sweeter the pushin'. That's what I said. The looser the waistband, the deeper the quicksand, or so I have read. My baby fits me like a flesh tuxedo. I'd like to sink her with my pink torpedo. It's just, and some of these songs, like especially the final song in the movie, when it's like an emotional moment when he's finally like, okay, Nigel, come play with me, out on stage. And then you listen to the lyrics and you're like, what the fuck? It's so wrong.
Yeah. Well, just the way the characters, when they're talking to each other, are like basically coping about like not being able to sell out arenas anymore, and they're saying like, I envy us, and like now we can do all these ideas that like we wish we could do. I'm gonna have the London orchestra like cover it and do rock operas based on Jack the Ripper, and it's like, so out of touch and crazy.
I know. It's a very woke movie too. It's like critiquing the sexism of this era and stuff, and it's like describing the original album cover for Smell the Glove. It's like I love when like the other band, like clearly the better band that's like them but just more successful, and they talk to them, and afterwards they're like, oh, their cover does the same exact thing, except they're like, yeah, but the women are the one with the whips, and they're punishing the band members. And they're like, oh, that's clever. Yeah. Yeah, it's so hard. There's such a slim line between clever and stupid, It's so hard.
That's a great line. Well, what's wrong with being sexy? No, sexist.
Sexist. I know. It's a funny movie. I mean, I could see this like warming on me, especially if like I could imagine, especially in like the 80s or 90s, like just watching this on repeat. And I understand why comedians have such affectionate love for this film, because it seems like it would just grow on repeat viewings. There's so many little details that are just so fun to pull out, and it's so well crafted, well constructed.
And even though I didn't connect super strongly with it, like, it does feel very ahead of its time in that sense.
Definitely.
Yeah, it does.
Like, it doesn't seem like 1984 comedy.
Not at all. No, I mean, look at some of the comedies from the 80s. It's I mean, we're talking about Weird Science and Revenge of the Nerds and all that,
That's true, actually. It's aged extremely gracefully with that in mind. Yeah. So with that in mind, like, what were the pitfalls, do you think, that they avoided in this that they easily could have, like, tripped up and fallen on? Because I got to talk about this sequel a little bit.
Oh,
because it was shocking. It was like it was sad. I didn't laugh a single time.
Oh,
genuinely, like, yeah. Where I was like chuckling all through. This is Spinal Tap. Thought it was, yeah. You said charming, Adam. I agree. There is a charm to it. Whereas Spinal Tap 2, it just felt sad. And they kind of joke about it. And I guess that's supposed to be the joke of the movie. The end continues type thing, where it's like, the premise is we've already kind of been here. That was what was funny about the downfall in the first movie, was how they're like not selling out arenas anymore and what that has done to them. But then, like, in the sequel, the framing is like, oh, after the release of the original This is Spinal Tap documentary, now they're really famous, so they're able to get like a second wind and have a big show that they're building up to. But now they're all really old and like have to sit down, and it was just sad. And especially with the recent stuff with Reiner, like, there's some jokes now that are reframed. There's one towards the beginning that was like, oh my god, this is like actually horrible now. There's this whole joke Rob Reiner has about there's a joke that the Michael McKean character is now making true crime podcast music. Like, he's scoring them. And then Rob Reiner, he says people love murder. He says that, and he's like, makes a joke about it. It is so, it's like, I hated the way that landed now. But then, having to like modernize, the quaintness of the 80s like rock star is one thing, but then they have to modernize it into 2025 and have crypto jokes and like modern tech stuff. It just doesn't work. It feels like forced, and that all that organic stuff from the original is lost. And then the actual jokes, they're so obvious. There's more slapstick reference stuff, bringing in real musicians to have these cameo appearances. The drummer from the Chili Peppers and Metallica, Paul McCartney, comes in for this egregious scene that like reminded me of what was that Danny Boyle movie with the Beatles? Speaking of like 60s,
Yesterday.
Yesterday, when Ed Sheeran comes in, and it's like just halting the movie to have this celebrity cameo that no one asked for. They do that not only with Paul McCartney, but Elton John as well. Like, comes in. And it's like, this is ruining the whole gag. This is ruining the whole like point of what was so brilliant about the original. And then, of course, referencing the original movie, they couldn't help, like referencing the songs and all of the best jokes, and then adding in these really bizarre ones. Like, Christopher Guest has an ongoing gag about cheese. His whole character is like obsessed with cheese, and every gag is just cheese related. It's so like, it just feels forced, and like they were trying to create the conditions to get the turn it up to 11 thing again, so they could have that moment. But you can't force that. That has to come organically. You can't just make that happen. And it does feel like a bad SNL skit. When the original kind of feels like they are documenting something real, it just felt like, utterly forced is the word. If you wanted to, like, you could do a mockumentary on the current state of like a band, but it couldn't be a rock band anymore. It would have to be like a K-pop band or something. Not laughing once is egregious. It was, just sad and embarrassing, and I kind of wish they didn't make it, because it's just one of those things, like, you just got to know when to leave it. Like, just leave it. It's this perfect like gem that you found. Like, there is just a sadness to it. Don't dig it. I would not recommend watching it, especially now with the context of Rob Reiner. It's just, it is just kind of upsetting, actually.
Thanks for warning us.
I wasn't gonna watch it anyway. I'm looking at the trailer right now, and it's like, just even the visual style is just kind of ugly and not.
There is something about that setting, it being in the 80s, that style of it. it's too clean now.
Kind of loses its authenticity. I wonder if like you modernized it in a way and had it appear more to be like a Netflix documentary, if that would like fix things, because it's modernized anyway.
That's exactly what I wanted to say, which is like if they're emulating a certain type of documentary aesthetic in the first one, like they'd have to emulate a different type of documentary aesthetic, like maybe something like the Peter Jackson Beatles dockers, or some kind of like we're looking back on this band in a new way with like talking heads and a different type of style. So Alex, does it try to emulate like a new type of documentary style, or is it just kind of...
No, it's very much trying to do what they did in 84, but just with 2025 tech.
Yeah.
That's not...
And that doesn't work in the exact way you'd imagine.
Sucks. That's not good.
Yeah.
It looks
They
ugly.
They should have brought Bill Hader and Fred Armisen in there to...
Sure.
But there just wasn't enough like to mine. Like they'd mined it all. They got it all in that original.
Did you guys see the Ian Rubbish skit that Fred Armisen and Bill Hader did on SNL years ago? That is like very, very similar to Spinal Tap in that it's like doing a parody of punk bands of that era. No. And the whole thing is like Ian Rubbish, he like hates everyone. He hates the Queen. He hates everyone except for Margaret Thatcher. And like that like breaks up the band because he's just like, I love you, Maggie Thatcher, and like all his songs are like love ballads to Margaret Thatcher.
That sounds great.
Check that out.
History of punk.
But it's like, History of Punk. Yeah, it's like identical. It's clearly like it inherits the Spinal Tap like message of being very specific and funny. And documentary now. I feel like that's the true like follow up to the Spinal Tap legacy. It's so many good episodes there. They do like the Thin Blue Line and all that stuff. It's great.
Well, yeah, that was another thing I guess about Spinal Tap 2 is that we have had a lot of mockumentaries that have kind of reinvigorated it and gone in different directions and shown what it can do.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's so many.
American Vandal.
Right.
Yeah, American Vandal. There's so many great examples. There's a question in the question segment I want to bring up about that, but it just feels like they haven't taken in the landscape. It feels like let's just do the same thing again without soaking in like what's changed with comedy. We're trying to do the same thing, but it just feels inauthentic.
Yeah, like an unintentional parody of itself.
Yeah, which just makes it sad and unwatchable.
Well, thank you, Alex, for doing the homework to do that and saving us the time to do that.
Sure. I feel like, maybe one of us should have seen the sequel, because I'd actually kind of forgotten that even came out. It didn't make much of a splash. No one really particularly likes it.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think it's easily forgotten, which is a shame.
So is Rob Reiner's first movie and last movie Spinal Tap movies?
This was his Spinal Tap was his first movie?
Was it his first movie?
I believe it was his debut. Yeah, his directorial.
I'm going to find out right now.
Rob Reiner.
TV movie, video. Okay, for like a feature, yeah.
Yeah, this is Spinal Tap, his first feature.
Something that's not listed as a TV movie or video.
Yep. Yeah, that was his first.
That's crazy.
Proper theatrical film. Yeah. Man, what a run! I mean, look at it. Like Spinal Tap. 86, Stand By Me. 87, Princess Bride. 89, When Harry Met Sally. 90, Misery. 92, A Few Good Men. And then he makes North in 94, and then it's just kind of downhill from there, but still, that's an incredible
crazy run.
That's insane. Oh, LBJ. I forgot he made LBJ. God, that was not a good film.
Yeah.
LBJ is who plays the Woody Harrelson plays LBJ.
Woody Harrelson, yeah.
I watched like 20 minutes of it, and it's like the prosthetics on his face are so heavy that he doesn't even look like LBJ. I'm like, if you're going to put all this prosthetics on him, he doesn't even look or sound or act like LBJ. What is the fucking point of all the prosthetics?
That's hilarious.
It's not good.
That sounds fascinating, actually. Well,
yeah,
I enjoyed it. Sorry, I didn't contribute much to the conversation. It was just like,
that's fine.
I genuinely forgot that we were going to even talk about it. I was like, oh yeah, Avatar, Marty, and then questions, and then oop. So thanks, Jake, because I genuinely forgot.
Well, I had a terrific time. Thank you for recommending it, Alex. This was a fun one.
Yeah, I had a great time. This is a really solid 3.5 star for me. I'd watch this again. I just love that it's an hour 22. Doesn't overstay its welcome. There's so many great, memorable jokes.
Yeah.
I totally understand why it has the reputation it does.
And I'm giving this one a 6 out of 10.
Okay.
Sure.
All right. I'm giving this one a 9 out of 10.
Nice.
Awesome. Oh, and I'd give Spinal Tap 2, The End Continues, a 1 star. Yeah.
Damn.
Boopy. Stinky.
A little bit poopy, a little bit stinky.
All right.
Well, shall we do questions?
Yeah, let's do some questions then. From the Sardonicast community, head over to the suggestion thread over on the subreddit if you want to leave questions for future episodes, just like Gugs Suggs did. This was what I was getting at earlier. Fitting in with the Spinal Tap discussion, what are your favourite mockumentaries? I feel it's a very underrated genre, as it's similar to found footage in how beginner and budget-friendly it is for new directors. Haven't seen it in a while, but Man Bites Dog is mine, and it's one I think Adam would get a lot out of for combining disturbing content with dark humour. Also, as a Minnesota resident, thanks Alex for predicting the shitty start to the new year. Cheers. Yeah, there is something about the mockumentary style that does lend itself to specifically comedy and horror.
Mm-hmm.
They mentioned, the found footage stuff, but that counts as mockumentary, right? Like a combo of that is kind of like What We Do in the Shadows. It's like a, comedy vampire thing. Threads, which we've covered on this podcast, is like that's the sort of mockumentary style of just presenting something horrifying, or like even in like a science fiction wrapping, a District 9 or a Wreck, utilize it really well. But in the realm of comedy, of course, there's the UK Office. That's a big one. I think we were talking about Ricky Gervais earlier, but it is really good. It's really funny and awkward, and kind of defined that style in the 2000s, especially with the setting it chose. And then, piggybacking off that, In the Loop and The Thick of It. Absolutely adore those for British awkward political comedies. Doesn't really get much better than that.
Yeah, those are all good ones. I don't really know what to... I mean, again, I really love the Documentary Now series. But for films, this is kind of a weird pick, but the film Zelig. This is a Woody Allen film. It's a mockumentary, and it's like using like footage, like historical footage, to try to like tell the story of a man like shape-shifting throughout history. It's kind of a very profoundly effective film that is funny, but it's like it's
a cool concept,
meaningful. It's unlike any of his other movies, which is why I really like it. It's actually very interesting. Yeah, most people haven't heard of it.
Nirvana, the band, the show, the movie.
Oh, of course.
Is that a mockumentary? I didn't realize.
It's coming out February 13th. Yes, it is.
Okay, cool.
That's the Matt Johnson style. Like almost everything he does is like a mockumentary style.
You have hyped this up so much. If it doesn't like make me come immediately, I don't know.
I think it'll make you come.
Okay, cool. I'll prepare.
I mean, I love the show.
Yeah, the show's awesome. I'm actually just now finally going through the web series, and even though it's not, as good as the Viceland show, it's still very competent and very funny. Borat and Bruno, those are some great classic mockumentary films. Yeah, those are my faves. I do enjoy American Vandal as well for like a show, and What We Do in the Shadows is good also. Yep.
Have you guys heard of Kunk on Earth?
Yeah, she's funny.
Philomena Kunk is awesome.
Yeah, that's funny.
That's a really good one.
I need to watch more of that.
She rocks. Yeah. That was like a Charlie Brooker like side character that was so good. She became her own show, because she just would steal the show whenever she was on screen. That's so fucking funny. Yeah. I think we gave a good list of options there. How about this one from Zeebly Skoo? Which Sard's the Sardist?
Which one's the most sardonic?
I mean, I feel like that goes to Adam.
Right? It's got to be Adam, right?
Probably.
Yeah.
It's got to be.
That makes sense. You came up with the name.
Thank you. I accept this award on behalf of all Sards.
Yeah. Congratulations.
You're welcome.
but that condenses my milk. Said, question for Jake and Alex. I guess you're not allowed to answer, Adam. Have you seen the new trailer for the new Animal Farm animated film coming out later this year? I watched this trailer.
Why is this just directed to me and you?
Because I did a reaction to it, so they already know the answer.
Oh, I see.
Okay.
I did a trailer.
So it's an Andy Serkis directed. Is it Angel Studios?
Yeah,
really weird like that.
That's one of the weird parts about it.
It like looks hideous. Seems to kind of miss the point.
Yeah, it looks like a parody of Animal Farm that you'd see in the studio or something. Like it
and Seth Rogen's in it.
Yeah,
he
right.
is, weirdly.
Playing a pig again.
Oh man.
Yeah, with all these like Spider-Verse inspired animated movies, you can do like an Animal Farm, like a cool. It needs to be frightening.
It does, exactly.
That film needs to be scary.
Well, I mean, they did manage to make something Orwellian.
Yeah, I guess so.
At the end of the day, really, whether they it's in the way that they tried to or not.
It's literally 1984, guys.
Yeah.
Like 1984.
Literally.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah, I don't know what, like, every single film that Andy Serkis has directed is just so strange.
I don't like him.
I don't get it. Is it just for the paycheck?
You just don't like him at all?
Yeah, there's something about him. He seems like way too far up his own ass.
Oh, I don't know about that. I mean, maybe he just got handed a bad project that got compromised. I mean, who knows? Like,
he also, I don't know, there's just this weird sort of like him trying to take the credit for the work of a lot of animators as well, like throughout his career, is just also kind of been off-putting.
Wait, really?
Because of Gollum.
Oh yeah, he's like, I'm doing all the acting here and nothing is touched up.
Oh, he said that? Or he's like...
Yes, verbatim.
Okay. I mean, because I feel like there's a point where it's like that his performance should be considered as like an acting performance, and like be treated as such,
sure.
But it's treated as animation instead. So I do think that's like a complicated thing. Like, yeah, animation isn't involved, sure, but it's like there's still a performance there underneath.
Yeah.
So,
well, James Cameron and that whole crew are very passionate about that, right? Whenever they talk about Avatar, they get very touchy if you call it like voice acting.
Or it's motion capture. They say, no, it's emotion capture.
Exactly, yeah. But yeah, Andy Serkis' directing output, the Mowgli movie Venom, Let There Be Carnage.
He directed that?
Animal Farm. Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, shit. I mean, I didn't realize. Okay, he's great. He's a great filmmaker.
He did the mocap for Venom's floating goo head. Dude.
Oh, man. All right. Well.
Oh, and I think isn't he directing The Hunt for Gollum?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
Fucking hell, dude.
It's tough out there. It's a tough industry,
It's rough. That's rough. It hurts to read. Anyway, yeah, enough of Andy. Let's do... Yeah, but what comes into your head when I read this one from Pristine CD 2660? Are there any movies that you consider to be great, despite disagreeing with the message or morality presented? We've had this sort of question before. It's always good to tune back in and see what comes to mind. I'm not sure if Jake has answered it. But one that I have a couple, I think, that pop into my head. The Dark Knight kind of like justifying the Patriot Act and like mass surveillance is like it's very 9/11 reacting to all that. It's not like completely black and white. They do have like a character kind of bring it up, but it seems to be that the film is saying that it is justified in some way, I guess, which is kind of like and the other one is, and I'm still kind of torn on this one. I need to revisit this. The Wolf of Wall Street.
Sure, that's a good
I think
example.
time is actually kind of warped that movie for me, especially when I see like TikToks of like the real dude and he's like doing better than ever, and it's like, I'm not really sure if that film like succeeded in what it was going for with the satire stuff. I need to see it again. I haven't seen it like since it came out, so it's been like 10 years. But something about it doesn't really sit right with me. Whereas I feel like the parody satire angle of like American Psycho or Fight Club, I think stood the test of time. I don't know if Wolf of Wall Street has. I think it's kind of like just kind of propped up the like Andrew Tate style culture. I don't know.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I don't know, because I mean, like we were just talking about Marty Supreme also, where it's like you can still kind of be like rooting for a complex character in a way where it's like, I don't know, might not translate to real life.
Yeah, I feel that too, but having the real guy like in the movie is weird to me as well.
I don't remember that even.
I don't know. I would
watch it again.
I would need to watch it again and really think about it a bit more, but that's what popped into my head when I saw this question.
Yeah, I mean, that's the Wolf of Wall Street. I mean, it is interesting. It's a fine line between, like, I was just complaining about the Marty Supreme stuff, but yeah, there are a lot of people complain about the Wolf of Wall Street, and a lot of it's like, well, do we? I know we've talked about this before, specifically with the Wolf of Wall Street, so I don't want to get too into the weeds here, but I don't think it's not their responsibility to conduct how the culture is going to be feeling and reacting to the film. I do think that movie is a huge critique of it, and if dumb people are going to use it to validate their greed, then go for it and glamorize it. They can do that. I mean, people do that with so many works of art as it is. I mean, look at people who glorify Whiplash as some kind of like hustle grind set movie about being great. Yeah, so, and you also mentioned The Dark Knight. I would go a step further and say The Dark Knight Rises is way more conservative than The Dark Knight even is. It's kind of like but that's also, I think, fundamental to a lot of superhero stories. It's kind of like we need the, especially Batman, like society's run amok. We need some guy to beat up all the bad guys. And it is kind of like a bit of a conservative fantasy, not saying that it's not enjoyable. And I love a lot of films and media that are dabble in that world, but that's part of the fantasy of fiction and exploring the darker sides of our thoughts in fiction. And that's what is good about it, like, one of my favorite movies is Dirty Harry, and I do not agree with the politics of Dirty Harry, but I think it's a fantastic movie. And a lot of John Milius's films, Clint Eastwood's films, they are like politically abhorrent to me, but they're works of art, and that's the same can be said of, lots of, if we, a work of art can stand alone from a creator's politics if it transcends that, and it is genuinely artistic. I think that's why a lot of people from the right and left are losing their fucking minds over one battle after another. I see another stupid take about it every day online where it's like, well, actually, they're not doing revolutionary politics right, and it's making fun of their revolutionary politics, and they should actually, it's like, it's not a manual, it's a movie, it's a work of art. It's not trying to tell you how to do leftist politics, it's a film. It's so
can be commenting on something without prescribing it.
Exactly. Obviously it's a complicated topic, but yeah, that's how I feel about it. I feel like art has a duty to stand outside somewhat, and not be didactic. I fucking hate that when a movie is trying to preach to me about a political world, even if it agrees with mine.
Yeah.
How do we feel about The Big Short? I remember kind of enjoying it when it was out, but like, how do we feel about that in terms of like messaging now?
I remember finding it kind of condescending.
A bit condescending, yes. I think that's a good word for it. I mean, I did enjoy it. I mean, it's fine, but I don't think it's especially... Yeah, it's like the don't look up kind of thing where you have an attitude where it's like, even though I agree with the politics here, I think Adam McKay is like I would say I agree with his politics, but the way that it's done, it can come across as like, hey, we're trying to like have a good message here and trying to give you something smart and intelligent and of value inside of this like sleazy entertainment that's beneath you. It's like, I don't like that attitude. Yeah, I don't know.
Was that the movie where they literally had like a cutaway to Joker lady, or was that the?
It's like Margot Robbie, like in a bathtub or something.
Yeah.
Is that the same movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the Big Short. Yeah.
I believe so, right? Yeah, I remember that.
That is kind of funny. Because it is kind of like directly, blatantly condescending in that way.
Yeah. It's assuming you are a dumbass, which is I don't know if that's the best place to start.
I think Adam McKay's best movies are like the ones he did earlier with, Step Brothers and Talladega Nights, like
where he's not taking himself as seriously.
Well, yeah, but also it's like he's not condescending to the audience and trying to be like, giving you guys an important message here. It's like you can watch Talladega Nights, and I did, and it's one of my dad's favorite movies. And let me tell you, he's not a liberal man, so it's like he can enjoy that, but I can also see the subtext there. It's a huge critique of the Bush era world, but it's also a great comedy. So it's I miss that aspect and that side of Adam McKay's filmmaking, I guess.
The Social Network is a great movie, but it also kind of serves as a weird whitewashing of Mr. Zuck.
There you go. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, super curious how that sequel's gonna.
Oh my god!
Yeah, right. What the hell?
I'm dreading. Well, it's directed by Sorkin, so.
What's the title again?
The Social Reckoning.
Reckoning.
No,
right.
really? That sounds like a joke.
It's called that. No,
oh
real.
God, that's a terrible title.
Yeah, I'm so curious how that's gonna.
That's crazy.
Because it's not Eisenberg.
Okay. I like that Jeremy Strong's gonna be Zuckerberg in this one.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, I do like him a lot. If it's gonna work, it's probably gonna be because of him.
I think January 6th is supposed to be part of it too. This is going to be such a funny movie.
Oh God!
It's going to be like the morning show. I think it's going to be really bad, but I'm looking forward to it.
Sure. If any of the questions are asking about fucking Stranger Things, go for it because I gotta pee.
Oh yeah.
I'll be back. You guys do your thing.
We'll do our Stranger Things discourse.
Here we are. Yeah. Let's do this one from Rory Meisen. Morning from Bristol boys. Any thoughts on the frenzy Stranger Things fans have thrown themselves into online? As I comment now, 2 scheduled dates for a real finale episode have been heavily speculated online. Fans have combed through the fake final episode and supplementary interviews to try and vindicate their conformity gate theory. Essentially, that the final episode was a fake ending with Vecna tricking even the audience into thinking everything ended positively for the characters. Fans think this was too convenient and not just a substandard finale. And writing, this really made me think about the power social media and fandom has in prolonging a piece of media's life cycle. Do you have another example of this in public media? Happy 2026, lads. You don't really need to go into the crux of that question there. I'd rather just kind of talk about Stranger Things for a second and this theory that was...
Sure.
It just took over. And it was kind of like a mass coping event.
It is, yeah.
And I've been there, man. I was there for like Mass Effect 3 and the end of like BBC Sherlock.
I've seen it. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Sherlock,
where it's like, it's bad on purpose. There's no way this is the real ending. Like it's all like a ruse somehow. Because like you can't follow Occam's razor and just see like, it was just bad, they just didn't land the plane. So it has to be a conspiracy theory, of course. Which obviously didn't happen.
Yeah. I mean,
is there like a what's the Mass Effect 3?
Yeah. I just said the indoctrination theory.
There's an indoctrination theory. Okay.
It's the exact same thing.
That's great.
Yeah, but just for Stranger Things. Yeah, and it really is just as simple as it just sucked. It was bad. Huge drop in quality, and the fandom needed to do something in order to cope with it, I guess. Yeah. It's like a mass psychosis coping event.
Those are fun.
It's so fun. I think it's fun because it is like mass psychosis, and it gives you an idea of how easy it is to be sucked into like QAnon and conspiracy theories, and like we live
right.
Our world is basically Eddington, and we're all conspiracy brained, and now it's like, some of the theories I was looking at is so funny, of like dramatic TikTok edits where like people are clearly out of love. A lot of people who love this show for a long time and are like, we don't want it to end. We want it to be dark and gritty and cool and not this Marvel shit, which is what we got. It's a fake ending. And it's like, no, that's what you got. Like, that's what it's been building towards.
Yeah.
And, it is, like some of the theories where it's like I'll see people being like, look at this scene. All of the characters are sitting with their hands in their lap, and they're at a graduation ceremony. Like, what the fuck are they supposed to be doing with their hands? And it's like, well, it's because they're being controlled by Vecna. Man. And this scene, it's like, there's a continuity error. And it's like, this reminds me exactly of when I went to see that documentary about The Shining called Room 237 or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's literally like the most insane people being like, if you slow the scene down frame by frame, it looks like the reflection here is of an erect penis. And it's like the most insane theories and people do this with Kubrick because they think, well, he's such a perfectionist. There's no way he would have a continuity error. And it's like, dude, you don't know how film productions are chaotic.
Exactly.
There's going to be continuity errors. Even for Stanley Kubrick, he wasn't a god. Like I'm sure there are some parts in The Shining that are intentional that maybe weren't continuity errors, but it's like, okay, putting that there, the Duffer Brothers aren't Kubrick. Even if they, and I see so many people being like, well, they had $300 million to make a movie and they still have continuity errors. I don't believe it. I'm like, these guys didn't even have a finished script for the last episode when they went into production. Like, come on. Like, are we just, is it more likely that they made a mistake or that there's a big grand conspiracy? These guys, like, come on.
Yeah, especially now that documentary is out. I watched about 40 minutes of it earlier today. And the stuff that's in there is quite illuminating, and I'm surprised they actually released it.
I know.
With some of it. Yeah, I was kind of shocked.
I was seeing clips of it online because I was like, man, if I were the Duffer Brothers, and they're under so much scrutiny right now about the ending, I would hate to have a documentary come out where they're literally saying, man, well, we don't want it to be like an ending of a Game of Thrones ending where it kind of ruins the entire show beforehand if we don't land the plane, And it's like... And seeing all their shit where they're like, yeah, like the production heads are coming up to them being like, hey, we gotta get the scripts for the last episode. We're building sets right now. Like we need to, and they're like, oh.
And they're straight up saying in it like they don't really like writing and they mostly just wanted to be directors and they just did it because like they had to. It's like really wow that they let that out there. And I was watching like an old episode of Stranger Things the other day, and ironically, there is, the teacher character that's like recurring, who usually like has some kind of plot thing he explains. He explains the phenomena. I can't remember the word, but I did have a mental note of like, I wish I could remember what that word was, of, spotting patterns and things where there isn't a pattern. That's exactly what the fan base were doing. Yeah, something
that
like
one's like for phases, never mind.
Oh, right. Yeah, there's some term for it, some phrase for it that is written into the show by that teacher character. And then, that's what the fans fell into. And I get it to a certain degree. I wanted the indoctrination theory to be real. It would have been a better ending, but sometimes you just have to face the facts. Like, things get too big for their britches. They take too long.
Yep. They
get tired. There's a whole section in the documentary about, like, man, this shit's hard when you have young kids. I didn't realize it was going to be like this, this kind of commitment. Like, I started this when I was 30 and I'm like 40 now, And it's like, so it's kind of a lot more interesting than the actual final season. And it's like a 2-hour big documentary, and I've got a bunch left to watch in it. So,
all right,
yeah,
it's crazy. I mean, the whole season, it's just so underwhelming. It is. The whole show just becomes Marvel. Like they all just act like superheroes, and they're standing around in the radio tower. It's like their Avengers tower, and
everything's a hero shot.
Everything. Literally. And there's like 50 people.
Even Will's coming out scene. It's like shot like a big epic like action scene. It's bizarre.
Page, yeah.
What did Will come out as? Gay?
Yeah.
Literally. That's like the big emotional like scene.
Oh my god.
They have like 24 hours to go do some crazy blow up the upside down or whatever. And they're like, okay, we got 5 minutes to go. And then Will is like, hold on, guys. I need to tell you guys something. And he has a really like a 10-minute monologue where he's coming out, and it's like poetic, and he's like, "I love sunflowers and roses, but I don't like girls." Yeah, and it's like every character in the show is standing there, and they're just like,
it's like 16 people in the room.
That's hilarious.
Including characters he's never like had conversations with.
I know.
Just in the final episode,
the second to last.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
No, the final episode is like Wild Wild West. Like they fight a giant spider in a big CGI land desert. Yeah.
They go to another planet.
Yeah.
And fight a spider. Yeah.
Yeah.
a spider called the Mind Flayer that just, I guess, forgets that, like, mind stuff and messing with minds is something it could do, and that could be cool. You could do something creative with that, you know? Like, going into people's minds and exploring their character that way. Yeah, there's, like, so much you could do with it, but they thought they needed scale for some reason, when that was never what was the appeal of the show.
No.
Like, the more cosmic, like, reel back horror is what was cool about it. Like, it was just kind of in the background usually, and it didn't indulge in giving you a bunch of answers, and they just felt like, oh no, we need to explain, but it's not another dimension. There's a math to this, and you can draw it, and it's like, oh my god, why are you doing this? Like, people just wanted to see the cute characters interact and just say goodbye to them. It wasn't like they just really overcomplicated it. And
that was the best part of the whole series, was just the last 40 minutes of the last episode, when it's like, oh yeah, they're high schoolers. I forgot that they live in a town and they have to work and they have jobs and they have, you know, like, why wasn't it about that? Like, I
don't get it. These forced eureka moments in, like, all the episodes before it, where they're, like, coming up with these plans and everyone's interchangeable. You know, it's like, here's
like,
my
who's
idea.
leading them?
No, this is the issue. Yeah,
like, who's in charge?
It's just depended on the scene. Yeah, it was so self-indulgent.
Yeah, there's like 20 of them, and it's like at any moment a character will be like, all right, we're doing this, and everyone's just like, all right, cool, we're doing this. I have some crack brain theory about fucking, you know, well, Vecna's brain actually works like this, and here, let me get a record player to be a metaphor for this is Will and this is Vecna, and we got it, blah blah blah. Like, it's incredibly convoluted, and I love how half the season takes place in Vecna's mind. And it basically goes nowhere, and it's just like stalling to try to come to some kind of reveal of, like, we're being promised a reveal about Vecna's character and what's in his inner mind and what his thoughts are and what's the truth behind Vecna. Why is he the way he is? Well, it turns out he just touched an evil rock.
Yeah, which we're going to explain in the spin-off show, actually, that's set in a different time frame. Oh my god.
Yeah, he's just an innocent guy. He just touched an evil rock, and now he's bad. Oh, okay, cool, great. That was worth 8 hours.
I am scrolling through this Conformity Gate hashtag on Twitter, and the parallels between this and the indoctrination theory.
Yeah, it's so similar.
It is very similar.
Maybe just every, like, 10 years or so, like, they just has to do it. Because even Game of Thrones, like, that's still, like, the most spectacular dud ending, probably out of, like, all of pop culture history. I don't remember that happening for that. There was no way you could spin that to make it, like, a secret, like, it's bad on purpose reveal thing, but yeah. Well,
I mean, when the show itself kind of has almost like science fiction-y fantasy, elements that make you feel as though it could be in someone's head or something, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, the indoctrination theory for Mass Effect, like, I choose to believe that.
Yeah, that's my headcanon.
It makes it, exactly, like, it makes the ending better. Right? So, I never finished season 1 of Stranger Things, and I'm glad I didn't, so.
So, damn, yeah. Anything else on Stranger Things? Because it was pretty spectacularly bad. I was like blown away. Like, it's so ugly to look at too. Like, the amount of money they spent, and that's what was sad about this documentary thing. Seeing all the sets they built and all these big gooey, like, walls and all this stuff that they built. Practically,
they worked really hard.
The way it was shot and lit, it looked horrible.
No, it's like, why did it end up this way? And you have to think, like, it must come down to planning, you know, and, like, the writing not being there until the end. I'm sure. Here's what I think might happen. All right, everyone's talking about this theory, Conformity Gate, because it's kind of reminds me also of, like, the Snyder Cut, you know, which for a while was just like a conspiracy theory, like, oh, there's a Snyder Cut. And there sort of technically was, but it's not like a finished film. But HBO decided, hey, it's worth putting millions of more dollars into this to let Snyder do some reshoots and do the VFX on this version of his film. So let's do that. Not technically like a film that was just sitting there, but it's like, well, we could do that. I think Netflix one day might be like, hey, people want more. We have all of these deleted scenes, because they obviously, I feel like they must have tons of alternate takes, deleted scenes. I'm sure they did tons of focus testing on how the ending would be, blah, blah, blah. I'm sure there's got to be lots of extras that they could just be like, hey, here's an alternate episode of the last episode, Conformity Gate, here you go, guys. And it'd just be like a slightly different version.
I could even see them like just straight up greenlighting like a 3-episode thing.
Yeah, maybe.
You know, like just keep milking it. Like
El Camino.
Why not? You know,
Man.
So it's 5 seasons. How much of the show did you like enjoy?
I've rewatched a bunch of it since because I was like, there's no way it was this bad.
Oh.
I had the same feeling.
And kind of got into it again. And I think there's something to like about every season, actually.
Yeah.
And I thought it was actually picking up pace in a way with season 4.
Yep.
With this like Vecna villain. And the way he was introduced and he was kind of obscured and there was like a cool kind of reveal based around him. I was like, this is like picking up steam for me. It's not like these little demon dogs anymore. It felt like it had a bit more purpose and yeah, it felt like it was going somewhere. And then the 4th season ends on this like huge reveal and this big like wide shot that was like these huge implications. And then they literally like just put tape over it at the start of season 5, and it's like, what are you doing? And oh my god, there's so many things you can pluck at and talk about. But yeah, a lot of it in that documentary, they're just talking about scale. They're just obsessed with scale. There's that whole, the siege on the bunker is like the biggest, most difficult thing we've ever done. And it's like the worst scene in like the entire show. It's like all the resources in the wrong places when it just needed to keep it simple, stupid, man.
There you go. I'm with you there. I mean, I feel like season 1 is the best, like hands down.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's stuff to like. I like season 3. You know, there's stuff in there that's fun and stupid.
Yeah, it's got some good stuff in there. I like the whole like Russian secret base under the mall and stuff. It's
fun. Yeah,
it's fun.
But again, yeah, there's season 5. It really does feel like they're just like totally out of their depth. Like they just are kind of like not really knowing where to take this thing. Endings are hard, especially TV shows. But man, it could have been way better. Yeah.
That's just, it's just long in the tooth at that point too. You know, they were like in their 20s. There was a charm to that original season with all these like little kids, and they like looked and acted like little kids. And Winona Ryder had like a big role in the story, and they just forgot about her, I guess. She does nothing in the last season.
Well, she does nothing in this new season. It's like she's one of the better actors on the show. And okay, maybe we shouldn't give all of the heavy dramatic scenes to a guy who can't really act. You know, Noah Schnapp is like, I'm sorry, but it's like, dude, that's like, there's so many scenes of him.
He wasn't that bad when he was a little kid. He's way worse.
No,
he's like distractingly bad.
Yeah, there's some really weak acting in this, and they have to do really tough stuff as well. Lots of crying and emotion and drama and theatrics, and it's just not buying it.
No.
What could have been, you know, what could have been.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Netflix. What are you going to do now?
Are you sold? Are you going to watch all 5 seasons of Stranger Things now?
Nope. I tried watching the first season twice. I couldn't make it past episode 4.
Interesting.
I was just so bored.
I guess now Netflix is just going to own like WB, right? So they can just milk other.
Oh, is that
stuff,
like for sure happening?
I don't think it's like fully confirmed, but when that inevitably happens, or fuck it, by Disney.
It's Warner Brothers is going to be bought by someone. Yeah, they're going to be bought by Netflix.
Yeah.
Paramount wants to buy. I mean, it's all shitty in every direction.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
There you go. All right, was that the last topic?
Did you want to do one more question or no?
Do you want to do one more? Or wrap this guy up?
Sure.
Let's end on this one. From Agile Ad 1665. What do you tell/think about people who say, OMG, that movie's from 1997? That's very old. And they have a hesitancy to watch it. I know you're under no obligation to convince people to watch these movies, but how would you go about convincing someone that there are great films made before 2005? I guess.
There's literally no point in arguing with someone like that. You just gotta let it go. You just gotta let it be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever talked to anyone that said that. I think it just has to do with who you surround yourself with.
I've talked to plenty of people like that.
If I get like an inkling of someone being like that, I usually don't go around them.
I have the opposite thing happen normally, where like over Christmas and New Year, talking to like my cousins, and like they just don't really give a shit about movies. They just think they all suck, and like only the older stuff is like good. you know?
Interesting, yeah.
Because, they see, like, the Minecraft movie and this kind of stuff, and it's like, no, there is good stuff out there. You just know where to look.
You just have to watch not only Disney-owned properties.
Uh-huh.
That's all you have to do.
Yeah.
You have to, like, care about what you're watching. You have to have, like, some basic agency in the choices you make for the media you consume. Like, really basic. I guess everybody's just fed shit on an algorithm anyway, so why wouldn't that translate to movies? You know? Nobody fucking uses their subscription tab in YouTube. They just, what does YouTube want to show me today? And that's probably exactly how people treat movies. Is what does Disney want to show me? Why is everything bad?
Yeah, they open Netflix. They open Disney Plus.
Why is everything bad?
When I talk to people, there's usually a divide. Either they're like open to movies, you know, and they're like, yeah, I'll watch movies. I'm interested in seeing good films, you know, of any generation. They're open-minded. And then there's people who simply are like, I don't give a fuck about movies, you know, like that's just not something they're into. Just like how I'm not into playing video games really or immersing myself in that, you know, and it's like at that point, what can you say or do? It's just like, okay, all right. You know, I think it's better to be, I don't really find people that much these days who are like, oh yeah, I like new movies, but I'm not going to watch anything before 2005. Because at this point, if you have any investment in film as a medium, you know, you've taken time to sit down and put a Blu-ray on, or you aren't just watching things on your phone, then it's like you have some kind of investment in seeing really quality stuff. So, you know, you're already 5 steps in that direction. You know, we don't really have to, you're doing okay, you know, and you'll find eventually probably what you like if you keep going down the rabbit hole, and you'll find good stuff. But yeah, people who don't care, they just don't care. And what can you do?
Yeah.
Yeah, true. I mean, like, every decade gets looked at with rose-colored glasses anyway.
Oh, yeah.
So just ask them, just tell the person, like, hey, make a note for yourself to ask yourself this exact same question in 10 or 20 years. And then you'll notice that there's things from this decade that you have nostalgia for.
Oh, yeah.
And you'll be like, he was right. And I've wasted my life.
Wow. Yeah. Just getting someone to be like, I fucking wasted my whole life. Is that your goal?
Never. I mean, it's never too late.
It's never too late. All right.
Exactly.
I think that's a good sentiment to finish off with, right? It's never too late.
Yeah. Never too late.
I agree.
Thanks for putting up with my illness today, guys. Sorry for all
that.
Thanks for sticking around for the episode.
Thanks for putting up with my brain fog and fatigue.
We'd have it no other way.
This was a kind of a little bit sleepy of an episode for me. Sorry, everybody.
No, you're fine. You're good.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I'm normally the ill one.
Hey, it's 2026. The dynamics are changing, you know. I think, Alex, you're going to have a baby, and, you know, it'll be...
shake it up a little bit.
Shake it up a little bit, yeah. And Adam, you're going to start affecting a British accent. And
yeah.
That'll be good.
Nice.
Right.
No. That was what? Oh, no. Never mind.
Good. I know.
I take it
back. We have a guest next episode.
Yeah.
So the guest is picking the recommended film.
Cool.
That guest is Louise Ward, director of Castration movie Anthology 1 Traps, and director of Castration movie Anthology 2. I forget the rest of the title.
The Best of Both Worlds?
I don't remember. I think The Best of Both Worlds is the title. You're right.
Oh, yeah.
She's going to join, and she's recommending Breaking the Waves by Lars von Trier.
Hey, nice.
Sweet.
Have either of you seen it?
I have seen that.
Nope.
I've seen it. I really like it.
Cool.
It's a good movie. Yeah.
Oh, good. And Alex, you have not?
I have not, but I like what I've seen of Lars.
Okay, cool. Yeah, what Lars films has everybody seen?
I've seen Breaking the Waves, and I've seen...
Antichrist.
Oh, okay. Haven't seen that.
Dancer in the Dark. We did the episode on.
Mm-hmm.
Dancer in the Dark. That's the other one I've seen. It's really good.
Nice.
I've seen the Nymphomaniac. 2 of those. House of Jack built. Still need to see Melancholia.
Okay. I would say, yeah. Breaking the Waves is like a good major one that we haven't covered. So anyway,
Nice.
If y'all listening don't want to be spoiled for Breaking the Waves, directed by Lars von Trier, watch it before the next episode comes out. These episodes come out every 2 weeks. You can listen to them early by going to sardonicast.com. Sign up for premium. It's only a few bucks a month. You know, it's peas. It's nothing. And also,
It's peas,
we
man.
don't do these fucking sponsored ads in these, right? You got to give us something for that. Patreon.com/Sardonicast will do the same thing, or go to the members button, click join under the video on YouTube. Okay. We also have a Sardonicast highlights channel. You can subscribe to that. We want more fan art.
Give us fan art, man.
Give us more fan art. We want it.
Respectfully.
The 3 of us as Na'vi, please.
No. Dang it. All right. Yeah. Thanks for joining, everybody.
Yeah.
We will all 3 of us. We will go to sleep now.
Yeah.
Have a happy castration, Breaking the Waves, Na'vi avatar, Marty Supreme.
Yeah.
Have a happy castration.
Paso Blue. Happy castration. Castration is crazy.
Yes. All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.